I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcos. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still on the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Gucci got large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube and view it for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Oh, no quibbling about that Marlins game yesterday.
Oh, woo, goodness. Woo. It was brutal because they looked like they were getting ready to have one of their infamous comebacks.
Yeah.
And then they weren't.
Classic unraveling with a when you walk in a run, you know, just all spirals out of control, Leroy. So the
What's
Marlins
up with the bullpen?
Well, I think a couple of things. I think one, they're probably burnt out because they went a month without a starter who was in Pensacola, so they had to burn them out. But it's okay, you had to protect the kid's arm, and didn't ruin his confidence by saying him to double it all. So that may be one. The other part is, I think just the idea that a lot of them just haven't been good at all for a while. They brought in some new guys, not exactly flourishing. So, that's that. That's what's been going on. They had a great first couple months of the season. A little tired right now. I think a little burnt out. Jesus Luzardo, he decided, hey, what would be fun today? If I open up a Las Espadas right on the mound and just throw up this game. He's also not been very good in a while. So, there's been some pitching struggles. Luckily, Sandy's back. I mean, that's a good thing, So they got their ace seemingly figured out. But yeah, man, they've been having to mash some. They've been having to mash some hits, and 12 runs is a lot. You're asking a lot out of your team to get out of that offense right now. So they're off today, and they'll take on the Dodgers tomorrow. West Coast trip. Who doesn't love a West Coast trip? Get us some more headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
All right. So coming up, we have day 2 of joint practice between the Dolphins and the Texans. And Mike McDaniel just addressing the media. Nothing too newsworthy coming out of that. Leroy will get to some of the sound from McCochin as we have all of the show in front of us. But he was he basically, I think, kind of confirmed that Tua is going to get some action. He likes to be a rascal and kind of dance around things, but was saying that, yeah, he feels like he'll get some reps. But I think, honestly, they want to get him a little bit of game action. Tua said he wants to get a little bit of game action. And then we'll see where this QB2 battle goes, because it sounds like the plan is to give Skyler the first crack at it. And then, week 3, I'm sure we'll get some more clarity on who it's going to be. But I think, as you mentioned, it would be Skyler's going to have to blow out Mike White to get that backup gig.
Pretty much.
One would think.
And if they had that much confidence in Skyler, they would have just drafted a young quarterback. They wouldn't have brought in a veteran.
Yeah, and I don't know if you should. I think it's he's still got a lot of things to learn as well. But the one good thing is, you have that third quarterback rule this year, so you can have him on the game day roster. It doesn't count against your 46. So that's a good thing if something were to go crazy. And as we saw last year with the Dolphins, sometimes things will go crazy. Sometimes you'll have a spotter in the crowd to be like, I think he's got a wobbly leg. I don't think he can play anymore. You sure? Yeah, I got my binoculars on. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater can play anymore. Pretty sure. The hell was that? And did anybody else use a spotter after that? I don't feel like it was the thing.
I mean, it's not a thing unless you hear from him.
But that was the only time I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a strange one for sure. Hey, I don't know about that Teddy Bridgewater. Get him out of there. Good luck, Skyler. Get on out there. So you got that going on. But you know what the funny thing is, Leroy? Here's the funny thing about yesterday, right?
What?
Imagine this. Yesterday, do you know how the practice ended yesterday?
No.
Practice ended with Tua throwing a pick six. And I was thinking to myself, my God, if this was last year, this is like the thing all day. Tua is throwing picks. He's throwing picks in practice, and he ends on a pick six.
Can I just say this?
If that was last year, don't you remember what that would have been?
Yeah, but can I just say something? You know, one of the things that people don't understand is this is an opportunity for the quarterbacks to realize what throws they can and can't make.
Mm-hmm.
How tight is that window? So you take chances. When you get in the game, you would hope that he doesn't take those same chances.
He likes tight windows.
Because he's accurate.
He is accurate, but he likes the tight windows. It's actually funny. Mike McDaniel was saying that exact same thing. Just testing some things out, baby. Testing the waters, baby.
But isn't that what camp is for?
That's what I'm saying, though.
Why are we grading them like it's a game, though? We do it with a lot of guys.
But I think the growth with this year has been, at least for me, and the way that things have been, is like last year, it felt like so much was riding every practice, every throw, everything Tua did, everything that he said, every non-communicative. I know you're not like this. I'm just saying the noise around Tua
No,
doesn't feel the same this year as it did last year, which I think is a good thing. I think it's good that it's not that we're not hyperventilating over Tua throwing a pick six in practice.
So basically what you're saying is you're glad the Heat aren't on Hard Knocks.
No, I wish they were. I'm so jealous. You know, that speech yesterday. Yeah, that speech with the offensive line getting ripped. Oh, I would have loved that was McDaniel. And I would love a Fang segment. Dude, like how much water do you need this segment? Because you've shaken the ice like 7 times so far in the first segment today. Like, what are you okay? Did you run a marathon before the show?
No, it's no more water.
We all know because you sound like you got a maraca for the audience. Nothing, huh?
No, what do you want me to say?
I'm wondering what's going on. Like, are you just bored with it? Like, I don't know.
No, I thought it was water and it was ice, so I tried to get the last little bit of water. But there's no water.
Has been you have been shaking like a rattlesnake, dude. If a rattlesnake's rattle was made of ice cubes.
Again, I thought there was more water. Put some Dan Crisco and Leroy's ready.
Yeah, you're very squeaky too. You've been full ASMR today, dude, to start the show.
There you go, Steven. -1 for lashing out.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just saying what everybody's thinking. Like you're throwing it in like it's hail, like right into the microphone. It's unbelievable. Like, what are you doing?
I stopped.
This is you. You're like, like it was crazy. It was like a winter storm. Winter is coming, except it's Leroy somehow causing it in the hottest month of the year.
Oh, it's hot.
I don't think your mic is potted up there, J Fig. No. But like
you can control your own mic too. That's one of those
it doesn't have a level up though. I can't.
No, the levels are all up on all the co-hosts and all the hosts.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Oh, not punched in. Yeah, now you are. Now you're not.
See, now you get -1 for lashing out. You lashed out at J Fig.
-1.
Wow, Dan.
Did you actually see
-1.
July was a high record of?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that story, J Fig, but I can just tell by life because we're just going through it, absolutely getting melted off the face of this planet. And August is a wild card because not only that, it's like it's hot, and then it'll just bring
rain,
crazy storms at a whim.
Oh, it rained like crazy yesterday.
Yeah, just out of nowhere though.
Yeah,
out of nowhere. So
that's right. And then this morning when I got up and went outside, it looked like the sky was going to fall out. Then it was all clouds, no sun.
Very ominous, dude. Very ominous. All right, we'll take a quick break. You guys can get at the show 305-567-0560. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM. Back with more for this. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. Take you guys up until 2 o'clock here on the show today. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Check that on out there if you guys want to watch the program. Pinks, they'll be back on the pitch Saturday night, 9 o'clock in the League's Cup Championship. Even though I declare it the real League's Championship because Messi just got here, so now business just picked up. I don't care what happened pre-Messi. You know? Whatever, dude. I was yesterday. Who was this? Sent me. What the hell was this guy's name? Because I'm big into soccer now, Leroy. I'm a big pitch head, right? You know,
it's a chance now for Inter Miami to ruin Nashville because they get Nashville in the final, then they get Nashville in the semifinal of the U.S. Open Cup. Ruin all their dreams and hopes.
Good. This is what we're here, Dan. We're here to mess up the system. That's what Lionel Messi is here to do. Just wreck soccer.
Make it messy.
Just bring all this attraction, everything. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want to see. You know, I see a lot of jelly bellies out there. They don't understand the greatness of Messi. That's okay. And what he's bringing. But
what?
The greatness of Messi. They don't understand.
No. The jelly bellies?
Yeah, the jelly bellies, dude. You know, they're just jelly. I don't like it. It's an unbecoming quality.
Can we not do that?
All right, fair enough. By the way, coming up later on today, very excited. So we're going to talk to who's probably this kid who's going to join us, Ian Gary. He's fighting on UFC 292, right? He's the best Irish fighter since Conor McGregor. Like they've been looking for the next Conor McGregor for a long time, right? It's been like they've tried to like throw who are these guys, these Euro guys, who could be the next one. And this guy seems like he could be legitimately the next great one. But the funny thing is he doesn't train in Ireland. He trains here. He trains in Deerfield Beach. And he's on the main card. He's third up from the main card this week. Got a late replacement. He's taking on Neil Magny instead of Jeff Neal, which it was a great antagonist move because he wore Jeff Neal's mugshot on a t-shirt. Jeff Neal does not like that. I don't know what his new angle is on Neil Magny. We can ask him about that. But yeah, this kid, he looks like the truth, Leroy. Like they think that.
How many fights has he had in UFC?
I think he's 12-0 overall. I think he's got 4 UFC fights.
All right.
So he's really on the up and up. But everybody thinks this kid is like the truth. He's legit, and he's like in a way like he thinks he's like the people's main event. Like he's gonna steal the show this weekend. And I'm curious because it is Boston. I wonder if the hooligans will be coming on over there to watch him. I am curious. So he's a very, very entertaining personality. He's a really good fighter. And I mean, you know, he's an ass-kicking hooligan. What can you say? He's gonna join us coming up next hour. And we'll see what happens. I am excited. That card's gotten a lot of promotion this week. I think it has to do with it just being August and the middle of us and what's
the slowest month for fights? Is August? Or maybe September because all football kicks off.
I think usually actually is September because they try and it's exactly what you said. They try and avoid college football at all cost. They'll maybe throw one in there. You know, usually like Canelo's the only guy who will fight in September. That's it.
Right.
But everybody else, they try and like, you know, get it more towards after August. They try and get like their monster cards towards like the end of November, end of December, things like that. That's what they'll try and do. So this one is a big one, though. It feels like it's been getting a lot of plug on ESPN. I was telling Dan Day before the show, like, it's a slow day on ESPN because one of the top stories has to do with a 130-pound undisputed women's champion testing positive for steroids. I'm like, wow, I don't even care about that. And I like boxing. That's on the top of ESPN right now. Crazy, dude. It's a wild thing. It is a slow time right now. Like everybody's just trying to overanalyze these the training camp stuff and all that, and I don't know. It just doesn't have that same ferocity that it normally does. But here's Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel yesterday. Dolphins had their first day of joint practice with the Houston Texans. His boy DeMeco Ryan reunited, and it feels so good. Here is what Mike McDaniel had to say about day one against the Texans.
It's just a lot of fossil fuels being burned. It was day one of the second opportunity we've had to go against another team in our second year. So guys kind of knew expectations. the with the Houston Texans, it was their first, so we got I can relate to that in previous years. Last year with Tampa, they brought the energy. I thought our guys were prepared for it. I thought there was some things that we got out of practice that were a result of fully investing in it. So it was an awesome day for that, because you can actually get to nitty gritty coaching on certain things to get better at.
Love nitty gritty coaching, dude. I mean, that's the type of coaching style
What
I like.
in the world is he doing?
What are you talking about, dude? This is he's just giving us his assessment of practice.
That's what he was talking about?
Yeah,
And you picked up on that on first try?
Of course, dude. Like, what's not to pick up? He's out there. He's saying that the Texans brought the energy, but he liked how things were going together, and he could get down to nitty gritty coaching. That's a lot better than nitpicking coaching. You want to just get down to the nitty gritty. You and me going fishing in the dark.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
No what?
Black people have been taught go in small groups when you go into the woods.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the band. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
I was gonna say, are you making a reference to the Nitty Gritty Band?
Yeah, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Okay.
But,
do you want your coach to be nitty gritty or nitpicky? I want nitty
gritty. I want nitty gritty.
Leroy?
I mean, paying attention to details, making sure things are right, not avoiding the 800-pound elephant in the room. That's kind of a coach's deal, right? From the perspective of, if he told you who was going to start, the front five, the secondary, whatever, would it make you look at the game any differently? No. Like, people are making a big deal about knowing who the starter is, but at the same time, they're not playing. So, no.
I think he's just I think what it is like, you just want to get into the flow of things as far as the offense is concerned. And, they've had kind of an up and down couple of weeks as far as the execution of things. Clearly, he wasn't happy last week. I mean, that was pretty clear. He did describe him as average. And then, you add the practice on top of it. They've been trying to work some things out, but I think the good part of it is look, you're going to get to a point where maybe you feel better about the flow of things and how they're going on offense.
Right. I think that's what you get from practice. From, usually during this time of year, they'll have the coach call the plays in the helmet. He'll do it on the sidelines of practice. You need to hear that voice. You need to hear those calls. Those calls need to get in quickly. The quarterback needs to understand them so he can relay them. That's before a down has even been played. So while we're looking at all the talent on this team, we also have to be aware of the fancy offense that they run with the wordy plays. And you can get that fixed on your own.
But you know what the thing that's funny about that is everybody's getting crazy with the pre-snap penalties, and I get it because it was they were the worst at it last year.
It's a camp thing. It's not just it's everybody. There's a few penalties that a lot of guys have. So first of all, if you're trying to make a team and you play a nose tackle or rush in, you're going to try to jump the count. Hence, there's usually a lot of offsides in the preseason.
But even I'm just saying from the perspective of it, this offense wasn't a disaster last year. The offense was really good.
It was the defense that fell off.
No, yeah. I think that's the thing that's crazy about it is we're getting so, I don't know. We're acting like yesterday. We're getting crazy about, oh my God, the length of the play calls and with the length of Tua's, how much he's got to say for McDaniel. I'm yeah, I get it. Those are annoying things that they got to fix, but ultimately they're not, I don't feel like they're crippling issues for the team.
No,
the offense was still borderline top 5 last year in the league. And that was with Tua being hurt at certain points. We could talk about, false starts and all this type of stuff and guys in motion and illegal procedures. Yeah, that stuff was annoying. But outside of that, see, that's the nitpicking of it. I feel like we're going crazy of it. But the nitty gritty of it is they were nearly top 5. You want to know why? Tua, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. They're still here. Are they not here?
Yeah.
They're still here. So what are we getting nutty for? People, dude. People are getting nutty.
Oh,
They're
damn
going,
people.
they're going on the roller coaster of pre-snap penalties. Oh, Mike McDaniel. Like, what do you guys want him to do? You want him to treat Tua like a child and hold up a sign of a cheetah? Tua knows what to do. The offense was good last year. Why are we acting like it wasn't good last year?
And why are we ignoring how bad the defense was at the end of the year?
Very, very weird. Very strange from everybody. How they're
because I think Tua's low-hanging fruit. The quarterback is always low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see it as just a Tua thing. I don't see it as just I almost feel
I
like
said a quarterback thing.
Yeah, I don't even think it's just the quarterback. I feel like everybody feels like this offense was almost stuck in the mud last year. Now, I think they got caught up with at certain points. Like you saw when they got to that West Coast trip, some teams were maybe catching up to their game and things like that. But those are also really tough teams to beat on the road. I think it's yeah. I just think that from the perspective of the team overall, though, man, I'm not going into this year with any worry about the offense. This offense was so fun last year. It was a party, baby. They had the best receiving tandem maybe in the league. Plus, Tua's taking jiu-jitsu. It's gonna be fine.
Once a week.
Well, yeah, but we don't know how long that session is, dude. Something tells me that Tua's out there rolling a lot longer than other people are. Not your typical 45-minute sesh, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
I don't know. Yeah. Here's some more Mike McDaniel from Tua yesterday. Excuse me. Tua yesterday talking and describing about his picks. This is what he had to say.
On the first interception, I think it's what I've done best is looking guys off and no looking throws into holes like that. I talked to Christian Harris, buddy, Alabama, and told me that, dude, you did that so much to us last year that like I was like, okay, just trust my drop in this area. And he's like, I'm not falling for it. And that's basically what happened. So it's good play for him. And that too, the mind game of that is like, wow, I never thought that you'd figure that out, that piece of the game out. So that kudos to him. And then on that last one, that man, I wish I could have had that back. But that one I was trying to maneuver someone, and it didn't work out with one of the receivers, and that was the only place to ditch the ball. I probably should have just sailed it to the ground, but it's a good play.
Yeah, well, that is the one thing with Tua. He likes to try and make something out of nothing if he can.
Yeah, we hate that until you need it.
He's I just don't want him to do it so he doesn't get crushed. That's honestly, like, I don't even care so much about the plays. I just don't want him to be in a point where he's trying to hang on for dear life and then he's getting Samoan dropped on somebody. That's what I'm just hoping for. He doesn't get absolutely just crushed. But now
I think because of the injuries, we all looking at it as a possibility, but I don't like they were fluke injuries. So you got to just kind of take it for what it was.
I can't wait until he throws Milano into Kimura lock. It's gonna be great. He's not even gonna see it coming, dude. Not even gonna see it coming.
Choke him out and sing a Hawaiian song.
Yep. Choke him out, hit him over the head with a ukulele.
I was gonna say, when does the ukulele come into play? Because he can play.
I don't know if you get a lot of. Can you get a lot of force on a ukulele? It's so light, It's almost like a one-handed.
Also, it's like the NFL isn't the WWE, so I don't know if you can bring it out on the field like a metal chair. But yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, look, it's I don't. It's tough to gauge what's more dangerous.
Don't underestimate the power of ukulele.
Wait, wouldn't that be the greatest touchdown celebration? Like Tua sneaks it in for a touchdown, and you got the historical ones like Terrell Owens and Joe Horn, and then Tua breaks out a ukulele underneath his uniform.
I would think it'd be great. Like, just have somebody in the crowd throw it to him because he's got the voice of an angel.
Well,
take a quick break. Back after this.
One day someone's gonna have to explain to me why there's 900 updates a computer needs to do. Like, what is that? Sitting here, we got all these people out.
Well, I'm sorry. We need to update your computer now. Well, great. Thanks, dude. What an ideal time.
My car keeps asking me if I want to do that.
Say that again, dude. You're muted.
My car keeps asking me if I want to update
Wait a
software.
minute. You're doing car updates?
No, it asked me.
Like how so? Like on the panel?
Yeah.
You have a very fancy car, though, dude. It's kind of like driving in a spaceship.
No, it's not.
It is. It is. No, you're wrong. It is. You got a whole panel going on there. You know, like he's, you know, his like Leroy actually has an espresso maker in the car. It's got a lot of stuff going on. It's very impressive, JFig.
Wow, let me know where you got
She-
that.
It's
My
very
baby
impressive.
car needs one.
She was there.
No, she was in the old. I don't think you've been in the. Have you been in the new
Yeah,
car?
I have been.
You didn't notice the espresso maker?
No.
No, it was in there, dude. And not only that, there's like a lobster tank. He's got the whole thing going on in there. It's a very impressive
I
car
must have
Leroy has going
overlooked
on.
it.
Very impressive. You know, it's like multiple colors. It camouflages like Predator.
That is true. It does.
I'm telling you. So yeah, update your computer, dude. But like, I don't understand what this place is with the updates. You know, they got 900 things they want you to do here between the updates, the email passwords, and they got like 900 courses they want me to take.
Oh, the email password is killing me.
Something at the
My
correct
lord,
time.
I have like
Half of my emails are your email your email needs to be redone before, and it does it like every day.
My email password is John Wick versus Wolverine 448070302 exclamation point question mark hashtag. And that's barely enough to get through.
And how many days before you have to change it again? You got,
Right.
like, 4
And
more
I
days
mean,
on that?
every third letter is capitalized. So yeah.
I just like, could you think of a more inopportune time where it's like, you know, where your computer needs to update in the middle of the work week? I'm like, right in the middle of the work day. I'm like, how do the iPhones, how are they able to do it overnight when I'm sleeping? You know, not an inconvenience.
Because they're hooked up to your they're using the same system that everybody's using.
This is why
So they
Apple
just update the system.
This is why Apple has passed them by, and this is why they don't get messy on Microsoft's stupid league, whatever they have. Ridiculous, dude. Control Alt Delete. What are we talking about? Bless you, JFig.
Thank you. Thank you, Tobin.
Well, I just, I didn't want to be rude.
I couldn't tell if that was Fig or Leroy's chair. I didn't know. It was
I know his chair is sweet.
Wow, I
Did you
switched
get-
chairs.
Let me
I
ask you
tried my
something.
best.
No, did you get that chair at Cracker Barrel? Like it?
No, I switched chairs. No,
it's-
those are wooden.
It
The
sounds.
old love woodland wood.
They love whittling wood. They love rocking on wood.
Let's not forget the old pot maker or the cup maker.
Like a tea kettle.
Yeah, no, they like making clay stuff.
Oh, pottery.
Pottery. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of Barry. I was always like, you want an unserious class. When I was walking by Barry and people were doing pottery, I'm like, come on. What are you doing?
Pottery?
That's a waste of a class.
I wanted to do that in high school.
That's a waste of a class. I did drawing for 1 year. Didn't go great for me.
You think?
I mean, we've seen your drawings here.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
that's
they were great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But like I just figured like at least with drawing, it's like, you know what? All I have is a pen, like a pad of paper, some charcoal. I'm not spending a period putting my hands in clay.
It's fun.
Why?
Then you take it in the kiln.
This goes right back to sculpting. This goes back to the ice sculptors where it's like, when am I going to use that?
Here we
I'm telling you, potters. How many people? Like, at what rate? They're all being made by computers now, right? There's nobody actually doing like handmade pottery. That's not a thing anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know, dude.
I'm
When's
not
the
gonna
last time?
fight that 'cause I have
When's the
no
last
idea.
time you've seen somebody buy something, first of all, made of clay? Answer: never. How many things of clay do you have in your house? You don't.
Unless you got kids.
Yeah, exactly. A little trinket to make it seem like you love them. That's it. But I'm talking about an actual functional thing. Come on, dude.
It is a novelty item, and like I do a lot of the hipster stuff, and people are like, "Oh, look at this!" I'm like, "You're never gonna use it. Don't
Never.
buy-" No, but support them. They handmade it. I'm like, I'm not paying $45 for something I'm never gonna use.
It's ridiculous. Like one of my friends was like, "Oh, he was so proud of his pottery," and I'm like, "Come on, dude. What are you doing?
Well, you should be proud about your pottery because you made it from scratch.
Yeah, but for what? Like an ashtray?
you know what? It'll come in very handy if you smoke. I don't know.
Or you could just go buy one for $4 and probably better.
Yeah, 95% of pottery
Probably
is
not
now
as satisfying.
it's now made with machines and lasers.
Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even the quality on handmade, unless you get it from like a reservation or something, it's really kind of shoddily made.
There's no way that people are doing it right. And then like how big is that oven that they had to put it in anyway?
It's called
You
the
know,
kiln.
it's an inefficient thing. What's it called?
The kiln.
A kiln.
Kiln, like where Brett Favre is from, Kiln, Mississippi.
Telling you, I used to take art classes. I know
Good
this.
job, Fig.
Is this why you're always defending the ice sculptors?
Oh,
Yeah.
the kiln is the little spinny thing.
No, it's the oven that
That's
you
the
put
potter's
your
wheel.
stuff in.
Once you finish, you put it in the kiln.
Yeah, ice sculptures too. I always feel like I'm looking at the clock, like, oh man, how long do I have this ice sculpture for? Like, it gets me nervous looking at ice sculptures.
I just, look, it looks cool, but I can't imagine anybody who's doing that like thought to themselves, this is what I wanted my art career to get to, making ice sculptures. Same thing with pottery, dude.
I remember I went to a golf tournament. We had a guy who drew on a canvas while it was spinning. And
that's art?
He made like Elvis.
He made Elvis on what, spinning art?
Spinning it around.
Really impressive.
With paint?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever.
What else would he use?
I don't know.
There's different mediums.
I don't know. I didn't know if he was like using, different products. Who knows? It's Art Basel, dude.
Bananas.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe that the thing Jeffrey Loria was most upset with Jeter was not ruining the Marlins even more, but the fact that he ruined art. Like, it really just showed you where that guy's priorities were at. The fact that he was like, Jeter ruined the building because of art. It's not lime green anymore, and the fish tanks are gone. These are the things that he's really petty over, even though he got, like, if you have $1 billion over that, I think you'd be all right. Like, go get your, why doesn't he just go buy the art back if he loves Red Groom so much? Actually, I think he did say that he wanted to move it. And Red Groom is probably like, hey, idiot, I suckered you into a home run sculpture. It can't go anywhere else. $2 million for that thing. $2 million the county spent on that stupid statue. For It's a Small World, for when home runs go off. No one was looking at it.
Yeah, it's not like Miamians and South Floridians were like endeared to the home run statue. Like the Orange Bowl, everybody talks about it like, oh, wow, one of the greatest times of my life. No one's ever like, ooh, the home run statue. I always got so excited when we hit a home run for that.
It was weird. You had like little fountains shoot off and a Marlin was spinning. You were just confused by all of it. Like, I think you could just say like the only people who would like that Marlins Park were art people because it was just gaudy. It's a great place to watch a game. I like watching games at that ballpark, but like some of the things that were added there were just like a home run sculpture, lime green,
Why?
Fish tanks,
flamenco dancers to do opening day. You're holding Muhammad Ali on for dear life. Like, the guy was just gaudy. The whole thing of him. It was a weird thing. And he's really mad at Jeter. Not for Jeter, screwing the pooch on baseball. No, the thing he's most passionate about, ruin the art.
Which is amazing. That on his way out, he still shows how little he cares about the team.
Right. I was like, look, this is where you're at? He was like, oh, yeah, the Yelich trade. For which I would say, like, dude, Miguel Cabrera, like, don't. I know the Yelich trade was bad too, but it ain't Cabrera bad. Isan Diaz did hit a home run. That just sounded crazy. This is what the guy's priorities are in life. And that's why I can't, and he seems like somebody, like, he would probably love pottery, this Jeffrey Loria. I'm surprised he didn't have a potter's wheel at some point. Why didn't we just have a giant potter's wheel, pottery classes out in the outfield? It's art. Although he was too busy putting a Clevelander with a cesspool, a literal cesspool out there.
That you jumped into.
Yeah, it was really, well, Macho Marlins, man.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
Really disgusting.
That was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Slimy, probably.
I'm still very
no
upset
chemicals.
to see that.
Security didn't want Macho to do it. Had to, kind of had to give him the old charm skis to get it done. Otherwise, he would have been taken out in handcuffs. It was going to happen one way or the other. I'm just glad that security finally approved it. They're like, I'm not going to deal with this nut job in a wig and a bandana. kind
his
of
real hair.
yeah. Well, who knows?
That's the truth. If you're more trouble than you're worth, it's like, you know what? Go ahead.
Right. I don't even know why we chase streakers. You know,
Well,
why do we? Like that guy the other day who they were trying to chase down. Just let him do his thing. He's gonna get tired.
it was like me when I was 14-year-olds drinking beer on Bourbon Street. The cops would look at you and go, "It's not worth the trouble.
It's not worth the trouble."
He's not causing problems. He's just drinking himself to death at 14."
Pretty wild. Dade South says Seth Rogen sells $300 ashtrays that he makes himself. You have to be a celebrity for people to care about your pottery. That's the only way.
And why, if you're a celebrity, would you buy another celebrity's art?
Oh, and another thing, if you're a cigarette smoker, you don't care what the ashtray looks like. You just grab the closest ashtray to ash in as possible.
I say we all take a pottery class.
Oh,
so you
no.
can go ahead and appreciate it.
I don't have to appreciate it. I saw it every day. I walk by and be like, look at these idiots wasting their time.
I hate to say this. I have an in on a brewery that has a pottery class every month.
They
if you
should
guys
have a
wanna go.
brewing class in college instead of pottery.
That would be
Wouldn't
better.
Leroy
That's
take
way more
pottery
useful.
Class? Let's go.
Pottery.
I would
Barry.
love to see.
I wonder if
Leroy
Barry
with
still
that.
has the pottery class.
Who?
Barry University down the road. I wonder if they still have the pottery class.
I don't know. Why don't you stop in the next time you pass?
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll stop on the way home today. Hey, you guys still got that pottery class? And I'll be like, hey, dummies. Look at you wasting your time doing pottery in college.
And they'll be like, hey, that's that keg stealer over there.
Nah,
Get him.
the times have passed, J Fig. I don't think I'm known anymore there. My time has passed.
Your face is on that wall.
Hard to say. Take a quick break. Back after this. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 o'clock here on the program as Miami Dolphins in the midst of their second joint practice with the Houston Texans. Feels like a kerfuffle can happen today. You know,
usually between linebackers and tight ends or linebackers and running backs.
Yeah, there was one
because
yesterday apparently
you
with
get
Jeff
tired.
Wilson. Jeff Wilson got into it, I guess, a little scrap, but nothing crazy. I want to, you know, we haven't gotten a real brouhaha yet. You know,
There was a team that canceled their second day of practice, didn't they?
I saw something with like the Raiders. I think the Raiders got into a big fight with was it the Rams? Did they cancel it?
It's Raiders 49ers, right?
Raiders 49ers. Is that who it was? I know I saw, was it Max Crosby got into it with somebody? He seems like he likes to fight with people. That was one of the guys that Patrick Mahomes really didn't like. He didn't like Max Crosby. Rude guy, he said. You know, imagine anger in Patrick Mahomes. Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new.
Tired of beating his butt every game.
Yeah, maybe. Get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
We'll talk coming up later on this hour with Ian Gary. He's fighting at UFC 292 in Boston. Intangibles. Boston likes to scrap. I wouldn't want to go to a crowd in Boston. I feel like
So do they celebrate all Irish?
Yeah, they try and claim it. We're just like you. We're like the Celtics. We're just over here. It's the same. O'Keefe, O'Connor. You get it. You know, he's not going to say anything disparaging about Boston because, you know, he's got to fight there, but he should. Be like, you know, a South Floridian adopted. You should really hate the Celtics.
You know what I hate about the fight game?
What?
That Jermell Charlo is 35-1.
Okay.
And he's just, I mean, and I maybe known about him for 2 years.
Yeah, he's not one I think you can quibble over. He's got a really good resume.
I know.
He's taken on a lot of tough guys already.
But that's my point. The fact that, like, he's fought 36 professional fights and now he's getting his title, you know, or is it because he's just moving up?
No, he's moving up. I mean, he's already been undisputed champion at his weight class. He's really good. He's really, really good. He's just, see, the thing is, his brother fought a higher weight class, and his brother had a faster rise than him. He did, Jermall Charlo. And then for whatever reason, just like they say, he's been dealing with some personal stuff too, but like he's just not been as active, like just didn't take some of these fights, couldn't find the right matchup. And everybody thought he was going to be the guy who took on Canelo. And whatever reason, not ready to go. And so his brother kind of swoops in there. I don't think it's a big difference. They're twins. So
he said he wants to, he says after this is over, if he, you know, he's going to do a rematch or he's going to go after Bud.
Well, good luck, dude.
I mean, is he that type of good?
Is Charlo that? He's not better than Bud Crawford.
No, I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean. To the point where, you know, I mean, I'm guessing he thinks, well, I can do better than Errol Spence.
I think he probably could do better than Errol Spence because he's, you know, it would depend on what the weight would be at. If they fought it at his undisputed weight class, 154, like let's say they fought for his belts. You know, it's a more natural weight class, but Bud Crawford didn't strike me as a guy who couldn't carry what he was doing up a weight class. I think he could do just fine.
Okay.
But yeah, Jermell Charlo is getting they're doing a lot of press this week because they put the on sale. So you're seeing
it's hard looking at Sugar Sean. He got a whole lot of action
because he's got the Fruity Pebble hair.
He got a whole lot of just bodily action for a guy that weighs $135.
Yeah.
$135 and 5'11".
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
You got that type of knockout power, Dan Day?
Maybe a little bit.
Dan Day would swing and fall down from having too many drinks for breakfast.
I don't know. Don't start, man. You know, I've gotten in some drunk bar fights now.
Yeah, we started when you came back with the little heart under your eye.
I got it lasered the other day. Look, that's why my face hurts.
Isn't that? It looks like you made it worse.
It did make it worse.
That's when you said,
what's going on
"What the
back
hell is
there?
going on there? What is
Len
Jaelen
dancing?
doing?" I don't know if this shoots through. Like
That's the dance you do after you eat your first solid meal after getting a colonoscopy.
What is he? What's going on there?
I'm telling you why he's dancing.
Why is he dancing?
Because he probably just had his first meal after getting a colonoscopy.
Oh yeah, he gives us way too many details.
I was going to say,
that.
why not send an email? I have a doctor's appointment or a
He's
procedure.
very comfortable telling us about his colonoscopies.
Yeah.
Guys, he just wants to keep us involved in his life.
I guess so. Meanwhile, a guy who probably wants to clean out some quarterbacks, Jaelan Phillips. Mike McDaniel was asked about Jaelan Phillips today at practice. Some of the Houston reporters are saying, how would you game plan against a guy like Jaelan Phillips? Here's what he had to say.
Blocking him. No, he is. Okay, so that's a cool player to kind of highlight just because Jaelen is a talented guy that has worked and worked and worked, and he's starting to see the fruits of his work really bear fruition. I think he's always been an impactful player, and he has a special between whistle to whistle motor that with his athleticism, he's been able to make some plays on NFL game days and really be a big part of this team. I think he has taken a step this year in being what he wants to be thus far. It is not a complete journey, but at this point, I think he feels a lot more in control of his own game and able to make plays in multitude of ways with still having that motor and that relentless approach to give offenses fits in the fourth quarter.
All right. Don't you love when fruits bear fruition?
Dude,
he made more sense in that one.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. As opposed to his nitty-gritty coaching. Jaelan Phillips is a monster. I'm sure he is going to be very hard to deal with.
He's great whistle to whistle.
Whistle to whistle, great motor.
Which I've never.
First team all no shirt.
First of all football players don't start with a whistle.
What?
He said he's from whistle to whistle.
Yeah.
Plays don't start with a whistle.
Yeah, they said that's a fair point. They don't. I mean, I guess if
you don't go on you never go on the official's whistle.
Unless you take it from, like, is he saying, like, from the time that the last play ended to the next play ended? Like, is that whistle to whistle? Technically, because it would be hike to whistle is what he should be. Or snap to whistle.
Let's just say he has a lot of energy. He plays with a lot of energy.
But Leroy, isn't more to the game than just the snap to the whistle? Isn't there from opening horn to
identifying, reading, knowing what
calling out
are?
I feel like, though, like when you say somebody has a motor, though, like I'm immediately thinking intangibles. And like when
Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, I feel like Christian Wilkins is more than a motor. He's a menace.
Name a good player.
But here's the deal. At that position, the biggest complaint that you have is those guys are so used to having 2-3 guys on them that when the player's gone, they take a break.
But like when you say a motor, I'm thinking Von Ginkel.
Oh, so you're stereotyping.
I mean,
brothers can't have motors?
I feel like he's better than a motor. I feel like a motor is like on a little boat. I feel like
motor has nothing to do with talent. Motor has to do with the effort you give from the start of the play to the end of the play.
Nah, motor's like, because there's something.
I'm telling you what it is.
Something about like a motor connotes like, hey, he's trying super hard. That's how he has to do it. You know, if he doesn't, then he wouldn't be on the field right now. That's a guy with a motor.
When you call a guy, no. A guy with a motor is a guy that from the start of the play to the end of the play is active all the time. That's what a motor is. So, like when you talk about, when they say a player has a high motor, that means he's a big effort guy. He plays from start of the play to end of the play. That's what high motor means.
But doesn't it also feel like intangibles, like you're trying over, like you're an over?
I just told you. I'd say Christian Wilkins has a high motor.
Like, but you see, like I think he's better than motor. You know.
Then
He's
what is your term you use
he's
for?
like a diesel engine.
Wait, what is the term you use for a football player that the closest guy to him only has 55 tackles and he has almost 100?
Well, I would say this. See, like
effort, motor.
Yeah, but like when you say motor, like I'm almost picturing like you got like a little like it's barely holding on, you know? Like Christian Wilkins is a Hemi dude, you know? He's just got a it's almost demeaning to call it a motor. Don't look at me like that, Jennifer.
We all are. You just only paying attention to her.
Oh, dude, like I'm just saying, you know, when you say a guy has a motor, you're like, oh, that's cute, you know?
No.
Who says that?
No. Can I just tell you? Can I just tell you? When we hear that on Wednesdays, when we start going over game film, we're like, oh. Like John Randall had a high motor. He's a Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I feel like he's better than motor.
No, but motor has nothing to do with talent. It is the way in which you play, the effort in which you give from start of the play to end of the play. So, for example, when you see Christian Wilkins making a tackle 10 yards down the field, high motor, big time energy, right? It has nothing to do with it. Oh, he's fast too, and he makes a lot of tackles. No, it just has to do with how you play from start of the play to end of the play. There's a lot of guys that don't have a high motor but might be better. I'm not saying it's not anything to do with how you play. I mean, to your, the success that you're having. It has to do with how you play the game.
Take a quick break. You guys get us 305-567-0560 back after this. 60 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 o'clock here on the show. Miami Dolphins joint practice going on right now. They're taking on the Houston Texans, getting ready for their second preseason game. Should get a little bit of Tua, which, you know, I'm definitely more interested in watching than Mike White and Skylar Thompson for the whole game. But even if it was, I'll tell you one thing, a lot less hectic of a night than it was last week. You know, I like the fact that it's 4 o'clock on a Saturday, Leroy. You can kind of just kick back, you know, ease into it, get ready for the Pinks and a little UFC that night. You know,
Gonna be a heater.
It's a perfect, yeah.
It's indoors.
I think it's got a, yeah, they're indoors there. Oof, it wasn't. Oof. Crazy. But I'm a little bit like, it's a better setting right now. You know, that 7 o'clock on a Friday last week. I got to be honest with you. Like, I was jonesing for football, but I wasn't jonesing for football that much. You know,
we had a lot of choices. We had the Pinks, the Marlins, and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And
now it's kind of
the
like
way you cancel it out, you cancel out the Dolphins because it's preseason.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees were in town. So, I mean, on that night, football had to take a back seat.
Crazy. But yeah, they're on practice right now. Let's see. One says Daniel Ofusi of the Miami Herald says Dolphins in 11-on-11 portion of practice. Terron Armstead was on the first play of drills, but fell to the ground, was slow to get up. He walked off to the side with his trainer to get his right leg checked. That always makes me nervous. Terron Armstead just on the ground in general just makes me nervous.
First play, though?
First play.
Leroy. I don't
First
know.
play,
Is he
yeah.
really hurt? I want to miss practice.
It's so
Hey.
massive. Why does he get so hurt?
I mean, he is not interested in camp. He ain't interested in practices, but I didn't like camp either. I didn't like preseason either, but you have to get your body to a certain place, right, to start the season. That is, you have had to have been tackled, right? You've had to learn how to avoid tackles or minimize hits, catch the ball in traffic, block a true pass rush, be able to check from 1 to 2 as a running back. So you need to get a feel for, okay, I know they say check inside to out, but if I see it live and I see that outside guy is going to get there first, then from seeing it over and over again, I kind of know where that guy's going to be, where I can not do inside out and go and get that outside guy and save a hit off the quarterback. There's a lot of things that you just can't learn without going live at it. You know, the offensive line. Look, okay, I get it. Everybody's complaining about the offensive line. I would say last year, more than anything, I think the defense let them down at times. When you knew your offense was struggling, you got to keep them in the game. So it's going to work hand in hand. I think the defense, if the defense is a lot better than it was last year, this team is going to look a lot better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they're going to put it on Tua. But keep in mind, to me, if the defense is consistent and get anywhere in that 10 or higher range as far as defenses, the offense is going to look that much better. Because one, you're going to get more opportunities. You're going to get short fields. There's a lot of things that are going to happen as a result of the defense playing better than it did last year.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why you go out and you have this hot pursuit of fangs, because you're like, all right, and I get what they were doing last year with trying to keep, the hell was dude's name? The guy, the guy they kept around from Flores, Boyer. I get why they were trying to do that, because it's like, hey, Mike McDaniel had so much on his plate with just getting things right with Tua and getting everybody to believe in Tua and calling his own plays for the first time. you felt like, hey, we'll just keep this consistent. We'll keep this status quo with everything, and there won't be any rub up. But like
A lot of injuries too. Keep in
Yeah,
mind, a lot
the
of injuries
secondary
on
was
defense
decimated.
side of the ball.
Yeah,
It got
secondary
to
was
a point where it was X and no, other dude.
fair.
Right.
Totally
So I'm not going to just totally
the
dismiss all of the circumstances, but the fact still remains that the defense gave up a boatload of big plays. And you just can't have that if you want to win consistently in football. You got to limit the amount of big plays, chunk plays, big passes, pass interferences, things that change, field position in one play. You really have to avoid that. And they didn't do a good job of it last year. But this year, I just think the defense as a whole is going to be a little different. First and foremost, people need to realize that Agba may not be on this team, but it won't be because he's not good enough, or it won't be because he won't have a chance to earn his money. It's because the defense that he runs, he's now going to look like Jadeveon Clowney outside. Right? You remember how Jadeveon Clowney played in the 3-4, but they put him at that linebacker, that outside linebacker, and then put his hand in the dirt from there. That's
Right.
what they're trying to do with Agba, and I don't know if he can do that instead of just, playing as a tackle with his hand in the dirt.
Yeah, and it's also like, he was what you were, you went out and you made a move last year because he got hurt. You thought he was going to be this big piece, so you got Bradley Chubb. Like, you're getting another pass rush guy and hoping that he can go out there and solidify that because of Iowa's injuries. So
yeah, well, Chubb can play. We know Chubb can play on 2 feet.
Yeah,
right. He's done it. I think they want Agba to work out, but it probably, probably don't get so critical of Agba that you don't realize why he's in the situation he's in. It just happens.
Yeah, the situation he's in is like completely different than what he was. And
right.
He was at the point where like you felt like you couldn't afford getting rid of him. Now, I do think that they would trade him if they could find a taker for him. I do think they'd move on from him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how easy that's going to be with a guy coming off the injury that he did and the money that he makes. That's not, I don't know who's like, hey, let me take that on right now. I don't know who's going to be all gung ho and happy about that for sure. So
can't cut him.
No.
Because all that signing bonus accelerates to this year.
Oof.
So if you just signed a deal, say if you got what, $30 million to sign, and you're making $10 million a year, that means that $30 million escalates to this year, or it'll be 25 plus the salary this year. So you want to really avoid. It's not like baseball. Baseball where you can take a hit, get rid of the player, and it doesn't hurt you. Football, it hurts you, it straps you if you have dead money on your books. And a lot of teams that do that have a lot of dead money on their books are basically just saying, rebuild. We're going to eat it for a couple of years. Let's rebuild.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more after this. few minutes, so we will talk to the UFC star coming on up, UFC 292 this week. Looking forward to that. I'm not going to do that to him, though. He might kick me in the face. And he lives down here, so I don't know. Like, he might catch me, J-Fig. I'm nervous.
I really hope it slips and you do it. I want to see his reaction.
Let's get to a training camp report. Not great, by the way, on news. But anyway, our training camp report brought to us by Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges. Enroll today in one of their over 60 Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges affordable training programs and get fast-tracked to a financially rewarding career in 1 to 2 years. Convenient day and evening classes give you the flexibility you need while you learn. Go to careerinayear.com and get there. Update on Terron Armstead, Leroy. He was carted off. Leg injury. No weight on the right leg. What? What? Not great.
Don't read into it too much.
Oh, I'm not going to read into it too much. The guy is Mr. Potato Head. Like he falls apart and all the time. How am I not supposed to freak out about it?
He's never played a full season, so you know what you're getting.
It's not even the season yet. He was just saying yesterday they haven't even ramped him up yet. They didn't even ramp him up. They give him a little. He just had to go up the ramp a little bit. Break. Not great, Bob.
Not great.
Let's just go over this. He's hurt. Jalen Ramsey's hurt. Jalen Waddle's hurt. I don't like it.
You still got a month before the season starts.
I know, dude, but come on. You know him.
He don't want to practice.
You think he's faking it?
I think there's wily old veteran moves where you can be as lazy as you want to be. You know what he's going to say. You ready? Here's the line. Oh, if it was a real game, I could have finished.
I don't know, dude.
They all say that. I mean, I wouldn't read into it.
You say that about everyone. What if it's really bad?
Then we'll hear about it. But I'm not going to react to really bad before they even do the test.
I mean, if there was one guy that you would say if he got hurt on the first play, maybe you shouldn't worry too much about it, it would be Terron Armstead.
Right. Here's the thing. When I broke my leg, right? The first thing the doctor told me.
The mystery goal? The mystery broken leg injury?
Yeah. The doctor told me, oh, we're going to have you see the specialist. You might need knee replacement. Like, what? Knee replacement? He's like, yeah, a lot of stuff going on in there. So I go and I'm already armed with that information. So I'm thinking, ask some questions, how long it's going to take or whatever. I go see the guy who does knee replacement. He says, well, hold on. Let's get an MRI. We don't know what we're going to need yet. Right? I say, well, old dum-dum already suggested I might need a knee replacement. So I came in here thinking we were scheduling it. He's like, no. So then we get the test. He goes, no, it's just you got a crack or a little fracture. You don't need knee replacement.
Okay, dude, but yeah, you also walked around for like 4 months without even realizing that your leg was broken. Terron Armstead went down in the heat.
That was the worst. I'm walking around going, you know what? I think something's wrong with my knee. It's not getting better.
Okay, here, this Armstead, no, if there was one guy that was going to make me nervous. I don't care what you say right now. If there's one guy that's going to make me nervous, and you want to know something? If he is doing it for a vet move, it's very rude of him. Let me just say this, Terron Armstead.
Why?
You can't be a guy with durability issues and be taking vet days, sneaky vet days. You got to at least give a thumbs up off the cart or a wink and a smile to Adam Beasley.
Or a twinkle.
Right. I can't. He's not allowed to do that. He can't be the guy who's like, I could have gotten surgery week 1 last year.
Hey. You do understand. Their first game is on what, September 10th?
Yeah, sounds right.
Which is 4 weeks away.
Dude,
relax, baby, relax.
I can't relax with him.
You just say relax, baby. It's all good.
You can't do my move.
It's all good.
It's not all good. It's not all good.
Wait, because here you're hyperventilating and reacting to something you don't have any facts about. That's what I'm telling you. Relax.
I have a cart, and if you tell me that if the word cart comes up in any tweet, I don't care if it's just for convenience. It scares me.
Why?
Just because, dude. Cart camp.
Cart is a precaution. A precaution. Like, he walked over to the cart. They didn't pick him up and put him on stretcher.
I mean, man, that'd take a lot to pick him up off a stretcher.
Said Leroy, he was carted off. Like, he was carted off a month before the season. That means that, oh, we got time. Let's find out what's actually wrong. All I'm saying is I get what everybody's saying. I understand that everybody's got a little anxiety because dude is always hurt. But here, you understand he's going to miss games. You knew that when he got here.
Yes, but I was hoping, like, can we get the start of the season? They just ran.
There's no schedule on when you get injured for these games because these are big ones.
I love Armstead yesterday was bringing me such joy. Yesterday he was like, "Oh, the offense is we're coming together." He was doing relax. We're coming together, baby. And then he goes and gets hurt. Thanks a lot, Terron.
But you don't know what's wrong yet.
I know that something's wrong, and something's always wrong with him.
Can't talk you off the cliff, huh?
No, not on this.
I tried.
All I see is I Got Game on YouTube who's saying they say no weight on the leg. No weight on the leg, Leroy.
Can't ignore it.
Can't ignore it. That's a big man limping.
I think I'm screwing you guys up because when I was walking around for all that time with a broken leg, like, but walking around with a broken leg and playing football are two different things. Just relax. Let's get the results back.
You should have seen him before we.
And when
got
are we going
on.
to get the results? What when are we going to find out? When are they going to see?
Probably have an MRI later on today. See the doctor today.
Great, dude. So what do I get to find out at the end of the preseason game? This is the same thing that happened with Waddle. You know, I had to wait like 4 days to find out what happened to my little Jaelen Waddle.
What? That's all football teams are like that.
I don't like it. Yeah, give me immediate. I need to know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How do I have to feel right now?
We playing that's a win, that's a loss with players.
I need to know with him. If it was somebody else, okay, I'll play the patience game. You can give me 24 hours with Jalen Ramsey, not with Armstead. I need to know right now. Is this a typical Armstead? Is this an elongated Armstead? Where are we at with this? Where does this grade on the Armstead scale?
We don't know where it grades because we don't know what's wrong.
Grades frequent. That's what it grades.
Well, you knew this before he got here.
Still played at a high level, injured last year. If there's a silver lining. Silver lining?
Silver lining is we don't know what the injury is.
I mean, look at the logistics of it.
Ignorance is not a silver lining. You can't say ignorance is a silver lining.
Nobody knows. The doctors don't know yet.
That's like saying an ostrich's life is a silver lining because its head's buried in the sand.
No, I'm saying let's not overreact to not having information.
Dude, but
what
you're underreacting, if anything.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I don't know what's wrong.
Well, yeah, but you know the character involved.
Yeah, and that should give you a little relief.
That
Look,
should give you a little relief.
He doesn't like practicing.
Wait, let me tell you. If a guy who never miss a practice, never miss a game, never miss a meeting, never miss anything, if he limps off the field, we'll have a discussion.
You got a guy who's known for not liking practice. The first time someone steps on his toe, gets a little boo-boo, he says, I'm out. Maybe it's just a little boo-boo. Tobin, little boo-boo?
I don't feel good, Dan.
I mean, I'm not excited.
I'm not happy about this.
Why?
Nothing good comes of these joint practices.
Here, let me just say this. Just give it a minute until we get the information. That's all. That's all.
Here's the information I have, okay? Armstead, no weight on leg, cart. Nervous. It's an equation, dude.
Maybe he didn't want to walk to the locker room.
I understand most of the time the cart sounds scarier than it is because it's for convenience. That being said, I don't like it. It scares me.
In fact, I would advise all players to get on a cart Because if you get on the cart, then people can't say what you can and can't do and stop trying to give you a diagnostic test on the way in. But if you walk, then everybody's going to say, oh, look like he was favoring that right leg. Ooh, he's limping bad. Like, no.
Checking his gait.
Yeah. Oh, not as bad as you and Robbie.
What?
With Tua.
It's just one time, baby.
Dude.
We
were at Super
Radio
Bowl.
Row.
We were at Super Bowl Radio Row, right? And Robbie goes, I got eyes on Tua, right? So then Tobin joins, and they start taking video of his gait. I'm like, come on, man. It's football, and there's a month away before the regular season.
Yeah, dude, but we already lost Ramsey, and Waddle's not out there right now. This is not the
right.
Dolphins.
The key word right now. Why are you getting caught up in all this camp stuff? A lot of it has to do with nobody want to practice.
What? That's ridiculous. Mike McDaniel said they're holding Jalen Waddle back. They're protecting him from himself.
Right.
And I don't know if he's a liar or if he's telling the truth. But what I do know is too many guys aren't out there right now.
They know. It doesn't matter if you know. That's the reality of it.
Okay. You don't think that when they saw Terron Armstead go down a little, you don't think that Mike McDaniel had the squeaky cheeks?
What did they do again?
The squeaky cheeks.
The squeaky cheeks, dude. I'm telling you right
Come
now.
on, give it to us one more time. What happened? That sounds like rats off the ship. It sounds like you jumped off the ship and you tried to get back on.
I just if Terron Armstead's not out there, dude, like who's gonna protect my little
He
Tua?
hasn't been out there.
Who's gonna protect him? He's my guy. I need him. What does he need from me? What can I do for Terron Armstead?
Stop overreacting.
Dude, then you know what? Don't get injured so much, and I won't overreact to everything.
It's a month before the regular season.
I just figured like when
it's a month before the regular season.
When he was gonna miss his 4 games this season, I was hoping like week 1 would be nailed, and now I'm just like, ugh. And then who knows what we got to do now? Now what do we got? More Eichenberg out there? Ridiculous.
You're gonna have to shuffle some guys around because sometimes your best guard may also be your second best left tackle.
Oh, great. Hey, how's this for an ominous tweet from Omar Kelly? Both teams are on a knee because a player seemingly got seriously hurt during this Dolphins joint practice.
What team?
I don't know. That's why I'm pissed. Give me a jersey color, Omar.
I'm guessing it's Atlanta.
Houston.
Oh, Houston. If it was Miami, he'd give a name. Dude, you overreact, man.
What are you doing out there, Houston? What are you making you feel out of? People getting hurt left and right.
Do they practice at their stadium?
I don't know.
Because I remember I have family there, and we went to a golf course that's right around the stadium. Like you could see the stadium the whole time you're golfing. Come on, man. You're overreacting. You're overreacting. Here, reactions can be legit when you have all the facts. You don't have any facts, so maybe you're hyperventilating for nothing.
Just like, dude.
But I'm just saying, you might be overreacting for nothing because you don't know what's wrong. Let's find out what's wrong. I'll let you have your day.
Here's from Adam Beasley. Armstead came off the field favoring his right leg. He initially went to the training table to be checked up by Miami's medical staff. Spoke to Dolphins GM Chris Greer. Armstead put on sneakers, but wasn't able to extend his right leg while doing so. Eventually, Armstead got on Miami's medical cart, was taken to the locker room. He wasn't able to place any weight on his right.
Hold on. Hold on.
Read that back?
No. I got everything I need.
Okay.
Now, they play on grass, right?
Houston?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
They're outside, so I assume.
In any event, as long as I've been playing football, and I have been on a grass field,
Yep.
I've never packed my tennis shoes. If you packing your tennis shoes and bringing them out on the field for a practice that is not taking place on artificial turf, you, my friend, have a plan.
Dude,
I'm just when's the last time you saw a football player just have his tennis shoes ready to rock?
Okay. What?
Now, answer my question.
Leroy, what if it's a thing he does? Like, what if he likes to leave the field with his shoes? What if that's a thing?
I'm telling you,
I don't
as
like
a
this.
player,
don't
it's
like what
not
you're
a
doing.
thing.
don't like what
Nobody
you're
brings their going home shoes out on the field.
I just want to be clear about this. I'm way more uncomfortable with you proclaiming you think that Terron Armstead planned a hoax than I am with being very concerned with a guy who always gets hurt. You're being more irresponsible.
His tennis shoes to practice.
What if Larry the intern went and got them?
Let me explain something to you. If I come to work and I'm dressed in a suit and I don't never wear a suit to work, you're going to ask me, hey, what do you got going on? Right? It looks different. When a player brings an item of clothing out to the field, i.e. sweatshirt, i.e. cutoff shirt with hoodie, right? Tennis shoes, he ain't doing much work on that day. Now, I'm not saying, I'm telling you, we don't know. We don't know what's wrong with him. But I'm going to say this.
I can't believe I'm analyzing video of everybody.
I have never seen anyone bring their tennis shoes to practice.
Can I just say?
No, you
You're a
can't say.
conspiracy theorist.
I'm not.
You are.
Dude, you looking at. Hold on. You just put your finger near the dump button, Dan. Because this dude right here got me going.
You're ridiculous.
Did you just not send us a picture with somebody practicing with Chris Quinn and saying, what could this mean?
Oh, I want to get to that.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
No, I'm not. That's the same damn thing I'm doing.
We're going to get to that.
I think we should go to break or something.
Tyler Herro, could be something?
No. So now you can read into that just by a simple workout, and I can't read the fact that dude brought his tennis shoes to practice on the grass field?
Kind of box yourself in there.
What if he always does? What if he doesn't like walking back
he
with
doesn't. I'm telling you as a player, he doesn't. You don't bring if your coach saw you brought tennis shoes out there, you'd be like, not getting no work done today, huh? That's what the comments would be. Tennis shoes at hand. Tennis shoes in hand. How hurt can you be if you got time to change shoes?
Take a break.
I've never hurt my leg and said, oh, snap. Go get my tennis shoes. Do they change shoes on the soccer field? No, they bring spray to them.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM.
So,
Take you guys up until 2 o'clock here on the show.
Tobin, I was under the impression that they were kneeling around another player.
They are. They were.
Okay.
They were.
Because
Apparently,
somebody pointed out on Twitch
Mhm.
that I was accusing the guy who they're kneeling around of faking the injury. And I'm like, no, I think that was a different guy.
It was a different guy. That's why I was like, what kind of tweet was that to just say?
And I'm
both-
guessing it's a Texan because otherwise.
No, it wasn't. It was. I found it. Omar tweeted out during the break. It was undrafted rookie free agent Brandon Pilley, who's actually really impressed in camp so far from USC.
Mhm.
He apparently is getting his neck checked out, but he did walk off the field.
Okay, I got you.
Stinger, hopefully.
Yeah, well, yeah. Which is those things can be uncomfortable for a long period of time, or they could go right away. You know, it depends on how you hit it, what nerve you pinched. Yeah. Hated those.
Well, not been a great practice so far as the health is concerned of things. But
it's
we
camp, dude.
Dude, you can't just keep answering it with camp. I'm nervous. Doesn't make like you saying that doesn't make me feel any better.
So I'm trying to explain to you the reality of what's going on.
Well, the reality is you've accused
Put it this way. They are closer to the start of their camp than they are to the first game.
Yeah.
Which means that you are now trying to get your body sore, work through that soreness, and then get your second legs, right? To where you get ready for the season. So, like, yeah, all these hits and twists and stuff like that. Yeah, you might have some like nagging stuff because you haven't put your body through this yet. That's why I always wonder, you know, when people say, oh, this guy don't need to practice or we don't need to get him ready for the season, I'm like, he's got to get himself ready for the season. We're not just talking about plays and stuff, but your body has to go through some of the things that you're going to go through during the regular season so you can mentally get yourself prepared for it.
Yeah, but while I understand that, it's also a guy who also has a huge, long injury past, which makes me nervous.
Yes. And all I say to you is this. Can we wait till we get a report on what's wrong before you start hyperventilating?
Yeah, but
that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
You can say, you know what? I'm scared, but I'm going to wait until I know definitively what's wrong.
If I could explain fan angst to you,
no,
it's almost better to be up here and then like, you know, it's almost better to then, you know, the exhale. Because if I just go, oh, you know how that's a lot worse.
I'm not saying that you aren't wrong for acting the way you are. I mean,
feels like you are, and you also
no, I'm not. I didn't say that. I said I was very clear. I said I'm not mad at you. I get, you know, when a guy who you depend on gets hurt a lot, the first sign of injury, you panic. I get that. But what I am saying is before you get all really crazy, let's wait and see what the actual issue is. Because if it's just tweak, we're going to send him out a couple of days and he'll be good to go. Okay, fine. That's the Terron Armstead we know. Right? So let's just wait. They don't even know yet.
What would Socrates say to that?
Socrates would say, what, he knows that he knows nothing?
Yeah. And I would be really pissed if McDaniel tries to put that Socrates stuff on me with this. Not that I wanted to play in the preseason game anyway.
We don't have all of the information to get up or down about it. I mean, like, you're getting upset and disappointed that Terron Armstead is hurt without really knowing that he's hurt. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, he's obviously not feeling great if he's
all you care about if Terron Armstead is ready for the first game of the season.
You're right about that.
Okay.
I don't care
the first game of the season is a month away.
I don't care if he takes another snap in camp. The only problem with that is it's Terron Armstead. You know, like there's a snowball effect. It seems like with his injuries.
I mean, doesn't it seem like UFC ain't helping him?
I think he does boxing. He doesn't roll. Maybe he should.
It ain't helping him either.
Well, it's all, and Jay Gatto 305 saying just breathe.
Right.
At a time like this.
It's not that we don't have angst.
It's literally the guy.
It's not that I don't have angst, but I'm not gonna overdo it because we don't know what's wrong.
Cursed franchise.
No, oh my.
Cursed.
There we go.
Just cursed. It's cursed.
Without playing the game,
cursed.
You've already determined this team is cursed.
That's just a cursed franchise, It just
Really?
is. Can't have nice things. Can't have nice things.
I mean, you got Tua, you got Tyreek, you got Jaelen.
Nobody to protect them. And a giant mauling tackle hurt, and I'm left with Eichenberg. If Eichenberg just get it together.
I think you need to calm down, dude.
Well,
for real.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll calm down. But right now, when it just happened, I just want to make sure he's okay. Can I get him a,
yes,
or something?
Yes. Make sure he's okay. What?
Why can't we just
does he look like a fruit guy?
I don't know. Some guys,
You know what? They ought to have like meat arrangements. Like you could get some jerky on the stick, a little T-bone, a little prime, and put it in a basket. Father's Day gift. Instead of all these balloons and stuff. We got Mother's Day, you get balloons, wine, charcuterie boards, special gift ideas. And for Father's Day, you get Bud Light and meat in the front of the store.
Sounds pretty great, actually, to be honest with you.
He does.
So
hey,
can we just get you to back down a little bit? Like without knowing what's wrong. I'm not saying you can't be nervous. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying everybody need to relax. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, can we at least save a little bit for when you actually know what's wrong with him?
I'm not feeling good, dude.
Well, but why? You don't know what's wrong.
Because you have only told me in the midst of this, you have gone from, don't worry about it, it's a long time ago. You started off by saying he was faking it and that he plotted all this by bringing the out there.
No. Listen, I was reading tea leaves like you. I apologize. It won't happen again. But it's like if I brought my flip-flops to practice and gave them to a trainer, you know what that trainer knows? Be on high alert. Leroy's coming out. See what I'm saying? I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just reading the tea leaves and thinking, wow, don't they play on grass? Why would a guy have his tennis shoes close by? Just it. Can you answer that? Seems kind of convenient that a man who plays professional football has tennis shoes locked and loaded and ready to go.
But I assume, like, as a vet, I think that, like, in basketball, guys will have extra jerseys on the bench. They'll have extra shoes. Like, I just assume that the equipment managers know they have some extra stuff.
I have very bad feet, so I had extra shoes. Not tennis shoes. Extra football shoes.
It looks like they're playing on grass. I'm looking at some vid.
So there. Why would he have extra shoes?
Don't my move.
Why would he have extra
don't
shoes
go
in practice that are indoor shoes, but they're on the grass? Why would he do that?
Or something.
Why
don't
would he
do
do that?
Don't do it.
Hey,
don't do it.
Can you answer that question?
I just figured Todd, the intern, the equipment manager intern, just knows.
Oh,
and Todd
says practicing. I better bring his tennis shoes out.
Probably.
And if he was that hurt, why would you switch shoes before you get carted in?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, whenever I've been hurt, like to the point where I had to be carted off, right? My equipment stayed on me till I got to the place where I need to be.
I don't know.
I mean, when I got concussed, they drove me to the airport with my helmet on the little strap with my neck straight to make sure it was okay. So all I'm asking is this. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying anything. But how hurt can you be when you think about changing your shoes on the field?
It's definitely not the first place I would have gone, but this is why you have the little details as an NFL vet.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Doesn't it seem like it was too, like, everything was just too convenient?
I just imagine they have stuff like
No,
somebody's
they don't. Not tennis shoes. Nobody wants to pack shoes you ain't gonna use on the field out to the field.
I don't know
You
how
guys don't want to do all that extra work. They got about 100 guys they got to bring equipment for. Now you bringing an extra pair of tennis shoes on the field and you play on grass?
You would agree that Armstead is of the status of, if anybody had extra stuff, he is worthy of having extra stuff.
But not tennis shoes on a grass field.
I don't know, dude.
I'm just saying, I was thinking, man, if I would have saw that, me and another guy on the team would have been whispering, you think he makes it through team drill? Nah, look, he's starting to limp already.
I think they probably always say that about Armstead. Take a quick break. Ian Machado Gary going to join us coming on up. He is fighting at UFC 292, one of the fastest rising stars in UFC. Hails from Ireland, trains in Deerfield Beach. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560. Take you guys up until 2 here on the show. Expected to talk to Ian Gary coming up here. He's fighting at UFC 292 in Boston. That's coming on up. But I want to let you guys know, if you guys want a pair of tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins, they are bringing their The World is a Vampire tour to the I Think Financial Amphitheater in West Palm this Saturday. We've got your chance to win a pair of tickets. Just keep listening to us. I believe I'll give it away at the end of this segment. I will make sure that it all set to go. If you guys want to go see the Smashing Pumpkins coming up,
got a state of an emergency here.
Show. What is that, dude?
My wife, you got to get different passports, and my wife had to get a new passport
because of Canada.
No, she's going. Rebecca doesn't want a sweet 16 birthday party. She wants to go to France.
No, I know that, but like, why do you need it? What's a different type of passport?
I don't know. The newer passports are different.
Like digital,
and
they put a chip in your brain.
She sat somewhere. She can't find it.
Oh,
you're right.
Oh no.
So right.
Oh man. Oh man. All right. Well, that sucks.
So she asked me, "Did I move it?" Like, why would I move your passport? Well, I know I put it right here and it's not here. I said, "Welcome to the club." I said, "But I know who moves all my stuff. You."
So Leroy did mention this earlier, but this could be something. It could be nothing. I don't really know what to make of it. I don't really know. But Tyler Herro, it's been noticeable lately that we're getting very chummy all of a sudden with the Heat coaching staff.
Why?
In the swirl of Damian Lillard rumors that has mucked up the entire summer and almost gotten us to the end of August. Interesting that all of a sudden he's chumming it up with Bam at the Miami Pro League, hanging out with Coach O while he's working on drills. And then yesterday, JP, you got this picture? Boots on the gram. Tyler Herro on his Instagram hanging with Chris Quinn. Interesting. All of a sudden, deciding to practice with one of his coaches.
So
not distancing himself from the organization, Leroy.
Would you like me to give you the both sides of it? The side of that he needs to be on, right, is that I still got to get rid of us ready for the season. And as of right now, I'm a Miami Heat player. So all I can do is get better at this moment. I can't control that other stuff. But if you sit around and do nothing, then when it's time to go, if you hadn't done all the things you need to get ready for a season, it's going to look terrible. So you got to just continue. You got to just continue to do what you do to get ready for the season. And what happens, happens. So I just look at it as he's probably, had some words of wisdom dropped off to him. Meaning that like a guy like UD would say, look, man, it's basketball. It's the NBA. These things happen. But the thing that you could do to make it worse is not preparing for a season because you think you're going to be somewhere else.
Oh, he looks like he's working out like a monster. I mean, the dude's jacked.
That's all he can do. That is all he can do at this moment.
It's he looks in fantastic shape. He's working his ass off.
He got backup shoes?
What's that?
I wonder if he's got cleats.
Dude, basketball players wear a lot of sneakers. Like, it's crazy how many sneakers they have. Like their entire
I couldn't wear my shoes for longer than a couple of weeks.
It's like the Heat's drawer, like that, all their lockers, they have these giant drawers that just open up, sneakers. And then the guy in the equipment room down the hall, wall of sneakers.
He got your private stash. So they don't send you. What happens is they don't send you like 2 or 3 pair. Like I remember when I was wearing Nikes and I wore turf shoes, I wore basketball shoes on the turf. everybody would hit me up for shoes because everybody wanted the Jordans or whatever. And I was using them for the game. So, yeah, it's
Piper
nothing.
says
It's nothing.
he's not going to stop being friends with them.
Right.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they're just friends.
Why?
He's known
Like
Tyler
that's what
Hero-
I don't get. Why?
he's known
Why?
Tyler Hero since a teenager.
Why you take your bitterness and try to
I'm
put it
not
on everybody else?
I'm not bitter. I'm
Really?
not bitter. I'm not
Really?
bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
Did you see the way you reacted to Dalvin Cook?
Oh, you mean Mr. Show Pony? Oh,
See?
that guy.
See?
Oh, it would be a Cinderella story. All right, dude. You know, that's why I respect Tyler Hero. He's not trying to make this anything more than it's not. And no, I found it interesting. It's been a very chummy week because it felt like the departure was inevitable. You know, he scrubs the old Twitter account, and now he's
You still got to get ready for the season.
I understand.
As of
but
right now, you're a Heat player. So what do you
understand.
do?
But
Go
it's not
work
like
out somewhere else?
Here's the thing. It's not like he's working out at the Heat facility. I think he's working out at a local high school. So what does he tell? He tells Chris Quinn, "Hey, stop at a Starbucks and come meet me. Let's chat."
Or maybe maybe Chris Quinn calls him and say, "Hey, you want to go get a workout in?"
Interesting.
Like what? Look what?
So you think
Why are we
he's
acting like, huh?
smoothing things over, if you will? Because and
It's
all
nothing
honesty,
smooth over. Listen, here I'm gonna be honest about this.
Mhm.
The Heat have nothing to apologize to Tyler Hero about.
I know. But
So,
it's
like I don't understand why would they be
well, it's kind of like right now, Chris Quinn's like acting head coach because Spo's off with the World Cup team. So that basically means that makes you the head coach. You know, so it's kind of like
trying to
just
make
hanging with the head coach.
Stop trying to make this a thing.
I'm not trying to make it a
How about
thing.
you?
I'm just interested by it.
So you saying Chris Quinn has the con now?
I'm just saying that Chris Quinn, you know, it's a set.
The hunt for Red October.
He's just he's got
EXO has the con.
He's the guy right now. He's the dude. So I don't know.
Wait, how about this? You know, there's been other people in the organization that have worked out with guys who end up being head coach. Look at all the guys that worked out with Spo. Why do you think Spo and D Wade are so close? Because they had that relationship as Chris Quinn and Tyler does.
Right. But it would be like if D Wade was in the midst of trade rumors for, I don't know, Tracy McGrady at the time. And like all of a sudden Spo's hanging out with D Wade on the gram, even though Instagram wasn't invented at the time. That's what it would be like. Boots on the gram.
I mean, okay, I get that. But the reason why Tyler can't be mad is he got his money.
He did get his money.
That got to count for something. It's not like other sports where you say, get rid of me because you're not going to pay me.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you find it strange if Damian Lillard was working out at the Blazers facility right now? Probably, right? Because it's a little frosty.
But I don't ever know if Dame did it.
I don't know if he did either, but Tyler's not working out at the Heat facility. He was working out at West.
Different situation, though. He knows he's going.
I don't know. What does Chris Quinn know? That's what I want to know. What does Chris Quinn know, J-Fig?
He knows that he knows nothing.
Stop quoting.
I think that, does he know nothing? They got to let Chris Quinn in on the loop,
Why?
right?
Why are you trying to make something out of nothing?
Like if Chris Quinn were to tell, if Tyler said, "Hey, Chris, or Coach,
my question.
What do you mean?
Why are you trying to make something out of nothing?
I'm not trying. That's what the question is. Is this something or is it nothing? You're saying it's nothing,
right?
But I don't know.
That's your get out of jail card for everything. Hard to say. I don't know.
It is hard to say.
While admitting in a story that you think you know what's going on.
No.
If this was just no big deal, if you thought it was no big deal, you say, "Ooh, look at Tyler and Chris Quinn getting some work in." That would be it, right?
You're right.
But instead, you took it the Tobin route.
I'm not taking it the Tobin route.
You did.
I'm wondering if Chris Quinn is tasked with the task of smoothing things over. You know?
Why does he have to smooth anything over?
You know, training camp's coming on up. What if the trade doesn't happen?
What did the Heat do wrong?
putting him in rumors. You know, it's a little bit of unrest. I get what you're saying. They paid him his money, but it doesn't mean that feelings don't get hurt.
Okay, but you want to talk about feelings? Ask D Wade how Pat Riley treated him.
I know that wasn't great.
Okay, so
That's
now
not great.
you like.
But I
They
don't
gave
know.
Tyler Hero his money, so
I understand, but you're arguing two different things. Like one thing we know the result, the other one I'm curious of the result. Like you think that money should just heal things. Like we see a lot of rich guys in the NBA who are still unhappy.
well, they're being just difficult.
You're right, but I'm wondering, is this just a case of smoothing things over, and so you bring in Dr. Quinn, medicine baller?
No, I think it's just Tyler Hero getting work in.
You might be right. I can't rule it out.
And if it was something else other than that, so be it.
Take a quick break. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the show. Let me see something here. Hold on 1 second, Jennifer. We got to do some adjustments here. All right.
Adjustments?
Yeah. It seems like our hooligan is ditching on us.
No.
I've been waiting for this interview.
I know, me too. I was looking
I've been
forward to
working
it.
for this interview. Where's Leroy? Is he sleeping?
I don't know where he's at, to be honest with you.
Looking for passports, maybe. I'm waiting on my passport.
Where you going, dude?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'm waiting for the passport. Maybe South Africa, maybe Colombia, maybe Iceland. I don't know.
Those are very exotic. I like it.
Yeah, no. Maybe just Canada. I don't know. No,
When are you planning to leave?
I'm planning to leave for the new year. So I applied like 3 weeks ago and they were like, it'll be here in 10 to 13 weeks. I was like, ooh, it's going to be cutting it close.
I mean, you can get it expedited.
Yeah, I'm not spending the extra $60. It's a lot.
Well, I mean,
Look, you and I talked off the air about some of my expenses that are coming up this weekend. I don't think
What do you got coming up, dude?
I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm supposed to go to this art exhibit called Super Blue in Wynwood. And I thought, oh, cool. And then the little bill started adding up, and it's going to cost me $100 to go to that thing. And that's not including the dinner at Drag Our House party, whatever it's going to be afterwards.
I'd definitely spend the money there, though.
I would go to
feel
the Our
you'll
House.
Have a better time there.
I'm thinking about going with the whole lie of, the website's down at Blue. I think we should just go to Our House. You've been working. We can, hang out, and then just go to Our House and spend the $100.
Cute that you'll think that'll work. But okay.
Don't check the website.
Anyway, yeah, it looks like we're not going to get Ian Gary today. I'm sorry. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. But maybe we'll get him on next week after the fight.
Welcome to the fight game.
Welcome to the fight game, ladies and gentlemen. It's unpredictable.
I tell you, one guy who always shows up.
Who? You broke up there, dude.
Pretty sure he meant to say Gilbert Burns.
I don't know because he muted. I think you're right. What did you say, Leroy?
Thurman.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. He'll show up and then he'll hijack a show.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it was like playing double dutch, trying to get in and get him out.
All right, so we have an update on Terron Armstead. I don't know what to make of the source because it's Tyreek Hill.
Wait, you want everybody to be Gogi and then you questioning?
Well, it's Tyreek Hill. Like he's a button pusher, so I don't know. But Tyreek Hill, he says he doesn't think the Terron Armstead injury is serious. He went over to him after it happened and he asked, "Are you straight?" And according to Tyreek Hill, his response was, "I'm straight, man. I'm just old."
Go get my tennis shoes.
But then he also danced and laughed after he delivered that line, so I don't know what to believe. I don't know if he's doing the Tyreek Hill thing where he's being a troll.
So my question is so why not just wait till we know? You can show concern.
You ever been in a waiting room before, dude? It's filled with angst.
Yeah. I was usually the one waiting.
So, like, when you're in a waiting room, are you always of the mindset of, I'm going to be relaxed until I know? Because I'm usually a worry.
Well, listen, when I went to the emergency room, the last thing I thought they would say was I had a broken leg. Right? So, without all that information beforehand, I'm not going to sit here and guess what it is because I didn't know. That's why I went there. It's not a matter of me telling everybody to calm down. It's react to accurate information. Like you're reacting for reasons you don't even know you should be reacting to.
Hold on, though. Hold on. We've spent today. You've reacted to little details like he had shoes. I'm actually reacting to what I know, which is no weight on his leg, went to a trainer, carted off, and you
had time to stop and change his shoes.
Dude, what do you think? A Foot Locker's there? I'm sure they're right there.
Again,
what do they got?
Somebody has wait. If somebody has a serious injury, right? You ever seen them change equipment on the field? No.
I've never thought about it.
No, you have. I'm just saying. Like, The two don't go together. Serious injury, and he had time to stop to change shoes. Don't match.
All right, Terron Armstead just tweeted out. He just tweeted out. Thanks for the love and support. Heart emoji, always. And posted a video of putting weight on his leg.
Thanks for all the love and support. You changed it to your tennis shoes, giving us the indication you were okay.
No, nobody knew that except for you. Let
me tell you something. When somebody has a serious injury, they don't take time out to change their shoes, dude.
What if he's got a
read the tea leaves?
What if
You're not reading.
What if he's got flat feet?
What does that got to do with injury? If he's hurt enough, you don't care about what kind of feet you got.
Just want support.
Oh.
Wow. Good job, Leroy.
Solana, I changed my shoes when I tore my ACL. And you've been milking it for 6 years.
Right, here's the video Terron Armstead just posted. Hopefully he doesn't curse. Going willy-nilly here, J-Fig. See what he says, if anything. Are we playing the car game here? I was gonna go ahead.
You guys.
This. All right. Walking.
There's the tennis shoes.
There's the tennis shoes. Those look comfy. Looks like he's got some sweat shorts on or some khaki shorts on.
They're khakis.
All right. He's got weight on the leg.
His gait looks good.
His gait looks good.
So, are you saying now you maybe overreacted?
I don't think he overreacted. I think he was just worried.
I was just worried. I was worried about my.
But okay, I'm one of those guys that listen. I tell my kids this all the time. Life is hard, right? You're gonna have a lot of situations that you are not prepared to deal with.
Get over here, you big lug. That's what I want to tell Terron Armstead.
But don't make the situation worse by getting all flustered and worried about things that you don't even know what you have to do yet, right? So this injury, like, oh my God, if Terron Armstead is hurt, we're in trouble.
We'd be screwed.
I know that. But him leaving practice a month before the season, I'm going to sit back and say, okay, let's wait to see what.
Can I just say, though, I want to just say something important here about Terron Armstead and why he's an A-plus dude. Because he knows, first of all, he probably saw Tyreek Hill, and he's like, I don't want that to be the mouthpiece for me. He hypes stuff up too much. He's a what would you call Tyreek Hill? Would you call him a bender of the truth? Exaggerator?
You could also use semantic samurai.
Yeah.
He
can also call him Tobin.
He can gas things up from time to time. You could say he's a bit of a troll too. I would say two biggest trolls in town are probably Jimmy Butler and Tyreek Hill.
Agreed.
So he goes, I don't know if I want Tyreek Hill to be the voice of my health update. So I just want to give a shout out to Terron Armstead for updating me personally. I want to thank him. He knew I was worried. Yeah. And
he should have just tagged you.
He's just a considerate guy. And I appreciate that about him. You know what he does? He does two things. He protects Tua and he protects my feelings. And I just appreciate that about Terron Armstead. Like, don't you just feel better now, day and day? We have gone through our day. We have seen Terron Armstead walk.
But you see how you guys are doing it, and you know what I'm doing? I'm going, whew, avoided a big one. Right?
Whew. Yeah.
But I didn't get to that point until I heard the news. You guys were acting like it was worst case scenario.
I know, but character involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like they made it sound like They made it sound like Terron Armstead was getting life flighted out of the stadium to the nearest hospital. That's what you made it sound like.
Stun Steve says that Tobin is the third troll. That's not fair, dude. I try and keep things as honest as possible.
No, you don't.
I really do.
No, you don't. How many times have you come over here talking about Atlanta fans got all up in their feelings? So-and-so fans got all up in their feelings.
Braves fans are always up in their feelings.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Exactly.
Man, feel better. Shout out to Terron Armstead, dude. That was such a necessary tweet from him. I love that about him.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
Oh my goodness.
Love him. When's his next album coming out? Doesn't he sing? Let me know. Hey, Armstead, you want to go to a local boxing card? Yeah, you like boxing? You got your guy right here. I'll get you there. You know? You want to go to the next one at the Miami-Dade Fairgrounds? Old Tobes has got you. Ringside, Terron. You got to go as a media member, of course. You know, I'm going to get you a credential. I can't get you tickets, but, you know. You'll cover the fight with me.
Wait, so you just bypassing me? I don't count no more?
Oh, you're obvious, you know. I just got to, you know, pull some more strings to get extra passes. You want to go to the fights with me and Terron Armstead?
What fight?
I don't know. I actually don't know when the next fight is around. I haven't heard about any boxing cards coming up locally. I think is there a BKFC coming? I know Dada just had a card. We had him on last week. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any MMA or Titan or any of those guys. We should go. We haven't been to a fight in a while down here.
Well, ever since that guy asked me to hold this cigarette,
What?
a guy literally walked in with a cigarette and a newspaper. The guy swung one.
There he goes again.
I think you pulled something, dude. I think you pulled your cord or you rolled over it or something. We lost the voice of reason in Leroy Horde.
He's frantically trying to get his mic back together.
Maybe he needs to change his shoes.
Maybe he should just stop leaning.
There you go. No. It got the cord got stuck in my flip flop.
I just want to tell Mike McDaniel, don't you dare put Terron Armstead on the practice field the rest of the year. Okay.
Really?
You save him till week 1.
When is he gonna get game shape ready?
Game shape my ass. He could do it. He could roll out of bed and protect Tua.
All right.
No more of this nonsense.
But if he's breaking down here, let me just give you a little bit of advice on this. If you breaking down as the season goes on, if you don't have any activity, that comes quicker. You got to get your work in.
Oh man. Another update from the reporters.
What?
Armstead from Adam Beasley was on crutches leaving the Texans medical area. -1 to Terron Armstead for deception. Terron Armstead,
-1.
I thought that you were considered, but it turns out you're just a fibber.
So no more.
You put
Hey,
credentials?
hey, wait.
Right now.
Hold on. Just go and get an MRI.
What?
Just go and get an MRI and some pictures. That's it.
I'm telling you right now, this guy put up on there that he was walking, and now he needs the support of crutches.
Because he's going somewhere.
What does he need him for? Why would you put up a video of you walking on 2 feet?
To not irritate it. That's all.
No. Hold on one second. Hold on. This is why it's -1 for deception, okay? If you're walking with crutches and you put up a video of you walking on your 2 feet just to show you can put weight on your foot to let people know, maybe I'm not as injured as I was, but then all of a sudden you're on crutches, that's deception. And I don't appreciate that. This guy faked us out.
No, he didn't.
Faked us out, dude.
Sometimes being on crutches, you know what it's like? You know when the guy tweaks his ankle and they put him in the boot? The boot looks hideous. The boot looks like you broke your leg in half. But sometimes they do it as a precautionary measure to give you a little more support and give it a chance to heal. I would say with a knee ding or something along those lines, a leg injury, sometimes until you get pictures and see exactly what it is, you want them moving around, just walk on these crutches till we know what it is.
Why can't he get a rascal?
Is a rascal better?
I feel like it's more convenient.
Because a rascal, you need you got to be 80. In football years, he is 80.
The worst is when you have the Achilles scooter. That's
the one is the leg that you kneel on it and scoot.
That's the Achilles scooter.
Yeah, that's terrible. And you can sit down; it doubles as a chair. When you turn around, and sit down.
You still seem to be doing a lot of work with the Achilles scooter.
Cam Wolf of NFL Network. Dolphins left tackle Terron Armstead texted me, quote, "I'll be good" a few minutes ago. He will get an MRI to be 100% certain.
Okay.
But
Thank
sounds
you.
like good news for Armstead.
That's good.
And the crutches, just a precautionary measure until he gets the pictures. As I told you.
Good. Breathe. We're good.
And furthermore, you have a month until the season starts.
Just don't let him practice anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good way to get out of the rest of practice until the season starts.
That's why that's what I'm saying. That's why he had his tennis shoes. I'm just
Well
gonna throw it out
played.
there.
Just
Well
such a
played.
He didn't want to practice. He could have just not practiced, you know?
No, you can't
Wilkins
do
isn't
that.
practicing.
No, you can't.
If Terron Armstead came out yesterday and would have been like, guess what, guys? I'll practice a week before the season. We've been like, I'm fine with that. He's not going to play in the preseason games.
No, but this way you can go and be like, man, I was out there. I want to practice every day. I wish I was.
Guys, I'm grinding.
I'm grinding.
He doesn't have to grind. Eichenberg has to grind. He doesn't have to grind. I know Armstead's good.
Here, Tobin. There's a minimal amount of work you have to get in to get ready for the season.
And what is that minimum?
Don't know. I knew what it was for me. I knew I had to have 1 or 2 series where I had 4 or 5 carries to see where I was mentally and see where I was as far as conditioning. Because if you can go 3, 4, 5 plays in a row running the football, then you know, okay, I got to do some more work on my cardio. Right? So there's a level that you have to get to so that you know you're ready for the season. Otherwise, if you go in cold turkey without playing any real football, you're putting yourself more at risk than less at risk. You think you're protecting Terron Armstead by him not practicing or playing any preseason games. You're actually hurting him because he needs to get a certain amount of work in against live rushers and O-linemen and blocking schemes and all that. You got to go through that.
We'll take a quick break. If you guys want to go to Smashing Pumpkins right now, caller 3 to our contest line of 305-567-0560. Caller 3 gets a pair of tickets to Smashing Pumpkins. The number 305-567-0560. That's 305-567-0560. Caller 3 gets a pair of tickets to see the Smashing Pumpkins there at the I Think Financial Amphitheater in West Palm this Saturday with their The World is a Vampire tour. And right now, caller 3 to 305-567-0560. It's a Live Nation show. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the show. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Miss any of the show, get the Tobin and Leroy podcast. Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know truck.
That truck slow roll right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins wrapped up their second joint practice with the Houston Texans. The big story to that was Terron Armstead, who is going to get an MRI on his leg, but seems that he is doing okay. And so we'll have more info on it tomorrow, but he is giving reassurances to reporters. He tweeted out a video of him walking off. So there you go. CJ Stroud, by the way, was just announced by D'Amico Ryans. He is going to start against the Dolphins in preseason action. So the number 2 overall pick.
Of course he will.
Yeah. I mean, but, so I don't know. So they have Davis Mills. So, like, he's got a lot of experience, but number 2 overall pick. Number 2 overall pick. Let's go.
He need to get his reps. If you're going to start him, you better give him as many reps as possible at live speed.
Agree with that. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm into that. You want to see a number 2 overall pick, see what he's got.
You know what sucks?
What?
That when I was a young player, you earned the right based on how many years you had in the league to only play a little bit of preseason. And to see young guys coming in, keep in mind you're going up in class, that they feel that they don't need to get up to speed with how things are done in the NFL. You're setting these young men up for issues. You want them to learn how to do this during the first 3 weeks of the season? No, he need to get some work in. All these young guys need to get some work in.
Wild thing. Do you have Mike McDaniel from yesterday, Marco, or earlier today, where he was talking about Tua's preseason and how much action he'll face? This is he would expect Tua to get some preseason action. Here's McCoachin.
I would expect to see him in the preseason. However, you know me, I'm a wild card, but I do think game reps are valuable, depending on where you're at in your journey for preseason, setting up the regular season. So I would expect him to play. How much and when will be determined after today for the preseason game, this next preseason game, and will probably be around the same time before Jacksonville as well.
There you go. Mike McDaniel, a wild card is how he describes himself.
So they're not practicing against the Jacksonville?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. No, they're not doing that for that.
So I would say next week against Jacksonville, they're going to go at it like it's the first week of the season, game preparation. You're talking about a playbook, game planned on, and you're going to go through the process like it's your first game of the season. That being said, with 2 weeks off, more than 2 weeks off, I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, these guys ought to get their work in.
I think so too. Like, I just think, like, if you're concerned with, he was already concerned with rust at one point after this game. So, like, you would not start or give Tua a little bit of run. Tua even said, I wanted to play last week.
Right.
So I get it. And the other thing that, listen, we got to realize with him is he hasn't played since the end of last year.
Right.
You want to get that. I don't know if there's butterflies of it, but you just kind of want to get that feeling of it back, don't you?
You need to get the idea of what the speed is going to be like in a game. They try to simulate that in practice, but you can't. You really can't. There's a difference in getting thudded and tackled. As a running back, you got to learn how to be tackled. As a quarterback, there's a lot different when a guy running by you versus when he can hit you, as far as when you got to get rid of the football. So that clock needs to also be calibrated. And you can't do that if you're not playing football. So every position has to go through it just so they get an idea of where they are, what they need to do, what they need to correct. Because, even something as simple as a fit between a center and a guard, or a guard and a tackle, right? Those are things you need to work out on that you get a decent look in practice, but it ain't the same than when a guy really can hit your quarterback.
Pretty wild. I was just looking at this Jet stuff because I saw all of our texters, our Twitchers, and YouTubers talking about. Did they? The Jets had a big fight yesterday, so they didn't have practice today.
Yeah, that's who it was. The Jets. Remember I talked about it earlier?
That's great. Hey, listen, it's gonna be fun for Hard Knocks. This is why I want Hard Knocks. Fun. It's fun.
You don't want Hard Knocks.
Behind the scenes, dude. Behind the scenes. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, but I don't want no deterrence for my team. Nothing.
The Marlins lost yesterday. They're off today. They'll be back in action tomorrow, taking on the Dodgers. Late night action tomorrow with the Fish. So they need to bounce back after bad performance by the pitching staff yesterday. Starter, bullpen guys. Oof. It's not been great. It was not a.
And they got back into it.
Got back into it, and then it all unraveled. You walk in a run. Usually will it could snowball in a bad way, dude. It could snowball in a bad way. So there you go. You had that, and then Miami Heat. You see Jovic yesterday?
What happened? Oh, in Serbia? I mean, was it Serbia?
Serbia, dude.
Yeah.
This guy, they killed Puerto Rico. I think they beat him by like 50.
But they did throw it right. They did throw it right to him.
Whatever, dude. Nose for the rock.
How many points did he have?
11. But he filled up the box score everywhere. Because you know what he does, dude? That guy likes to dish. Jovic is a team guy. Likes to get people involved.
That's just how they play over there.
Who's they?
The Europeans.
Really? You know Gogi's playing for Slovenia? I didn't even realize he was still playing international ball.
He's damn near the same age as the coach.
I think he was like just filling in, though. I don't know if he's still there. Because I think he's back in Miami. But Gogi played against Team USA the other day. I was happy for him.
How'd it go for Slovenia in that game?
Not great, Dan. But you know what? Goran's already done. He already won Euros for them.
Wait, you're giving me slack for cheering on my home country?
I'm not giving you slack, but I mean, you had to mention the bad news about Gogi, and it was just saying he was pinch hitting for his homeland.
I was just
he was supposed to be retired from international play.
Pride and joy of our country, right there. We got.
Did you see
on the bench?
Did you see what Anthony Edwards did?
No.
So Anthony Edwards was they were scrimmaging yesterday, and he dunked it. And Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, he wouldn't contest the shot. And Anthony Edwards, as he's dunking, he goes, "Aren't you the Defensive Player of the Year? Jump!" I was like, "Whoa, that's kind of frosty." All right, but Anthony Edwards, known bleep talker.
He's a big boy too.
It's gonna be great on the Heat in like 6 years. Can't wait.
I was waiting for that.
Spowing those tea leaves, dude. I'm just saying, like, just keep an eye out on it. Him, Luka, Tatum. Those are the three ones you got to keep an eye on. What? What are you looking at?
We already got a Luka.
What?
Jovic.
Well, maybe he might be in Portland. We'll see.
So you're saying after this upcoming run with Damian Lillard and the couple championships we're going to win, then the next wave.
You always got to look at the next wave, dude. You got to think of it as a lighthouse. You know, you always got to see what's beyond in the sea. Pat Riley is in the lighthouse.
What?
Yeah, it's like when you look at the lighthouse, you have to see what's out yonder, right? Anybody can see what's up at the shoreline right now. That's the importance of it. So I'm keeping an eye on Ant-Man, Tatum, Luka. Those are the three.
What's wrong with you?
I miss basketball. The in-season tournament schedule didn't do it for me. But doesn't it come out in like an hour?
Doesn't camp? Yeah, it comes out an hour. Doesn't camp start the first week of NFL?
No, camp starts later than that. Camp's not till like first week of October.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they only start like 2 or 3 weeks before the season? Because it's usually around Halloween.
It's a quick turnaround.
when the
Because
season
camp for basketball, Dan Day is like 4 days.
Yeah.
And it's usually a trip to the Bahamas.
Well, that's the thing. Usually in basketball is one of those things you can keep your skills up in the off season pretty easy.
Yeah, they don't. When they say training camp's like a handful of days. Sometimes they do it up in West Palm. You know, it's not a serious thing.
Why not go up to Sioux Falls where the G League team is at?
Why would they have to go to one of the Dakotas?
Because they want to stay focused, no distractions.
We play a little Goosies, no Goosies coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Time to shake your tail feather. It's our favorite Thursday game. A little delayed. A little Goosies. No Goosies. J-Fig will give us some topics. We'll tell you whether or not we should get the Goosies or not. J-Fig, what do we have today on our topics du jour for Goosies, no Goosies?
All right, number one, Mike McDaniels not being worried about Tua's interceptions.
Tua had 2 pick sixes at practice yesterday. Here's the Dolphins coach on that.
You know, sometimes interceptions are good in practice. Sometimes they're only good if you don't do that again. But each individual one is part of the reason those are occurring is because he's pressing himself to be the very best version of himself. He is he probably made 10 plays yesterday that were absolutely fantastic doing the same thing. So it's not as easy as, and I think it's important to emphasize that you have to take each one individually. And so I would be upset if he was unprepared, if he didn't really think about it, or if it's something that he just went rogue and went outside of a progression. Okay, if he's trying new things within the timing of the play, there's going to be some residuals when you're trying to be the best version of yourself. He's trying to take his game to another level. So I was pumped for the learning process.
Very good words from Mike McDaniel. A lot
Kind
of
of
words.
like what I told you earlier.
It was very similar to what you were, but that's why I get you. Listen, you know football. I've never said you don't know football. There's one thing about old Tobes. It's not that I always say, you know, this Leroy, he knows football.
But here's the deal, though. Knowing that camp is to work out the kinks and see what you can and can't do and throws you can and can't make. Why does everybody get worked up when there's mistakes in practice? Because guess what? Tua doesn't turn the ball over like Jameis Winston.
No.
So you really have no reason.
But nobody really does anymore either.
What?
Turn the ball over like Jameis.
Huh, no, nobody's Jameis. First 30-30 guy.
But I got no Goosies from that. That being said, no Goosies.
Wow.
Because Leroy already told it to me, so he spoiled it.
So what you're saying is he gave you the Goosies first?
No, because he did it in his Leroy way, which is always like he would react to everything.
Like
so Leroy's like a Goosie's fire extinguisher.
What are you talking about?
Like if Tobes tries to get Goosies, here's Leroy trying to put that. What comes out of a fire extinguisher? Is it dry ice?
No, you are an idiot.
I genuinely don't know what comes out of a fire extinguisher. Dan, do you know?
It's like a papery foam.
Yeah, but is there dry ice in there?
I don't think so.
Because don't they use the fire extinguishers for the canes for the smoke?
Yeah, I think so.
That's not dry ice?
No.
Anyway, you got the Goosies?
No.
No Goosies.
What about you, Jennifer?
I don't have the Goosies.
No Goosies.
Dan Day, did you get the Goosies from Mike McDaniel?
Practice?
Nah.
We're talking practice?
No Goosies.
I'm like, I'd rather him take these chances now than take those chances in the game.
What's number 2, J-Fig?
Ronnie 2K says Jimmy Butler got a 95 because he's a one-man crew.
He's a one-man crew. I know a lot of people had an issue, especially Evan Turner had an issue with Jimmy Butler being ranked so high in 2K. But I'm going to go no Goosies because it seems like kind of a backhanded shot at the Heat. And,
no Goosies.
I don't like that from Ronnie 2K, Pipe down, dude.
Sit down.
I mean, it sucks because he's giving a compliment while blasting Bam.
Right.
And so I don't have the Goosies for that.
And Bam was good.
No Goosies.
If he just left it and said, Jimmy, don't overestimate or underestimate Jimmy. He's a dog. That's why he's a 95. I'd have been okay with that. But to lift Jimmy up by dragging and saying he's playing like he basically made it sound like he's playing like LeBron in his Cleveland days.
Yeah.
And that's not accurate. So I don't have the Goosies.
J-Fig, Goosies?
No.
No
There is
Goosies.
none here.
What about you, Dan Day?
Nah, there's nothing there
No
right there.
Goosies.
He's just kind of saying whatever he's saying. Nobody really cares.
All right. What's number 3, J-Fig?
Robert De Niro is turning 80 today.
Wow.
How do we feel about that?
I mean, I got the Goosies. You know, Robert De Niro's a good actor.
Goosies.
You know, it's he's got some great movies like The Grudge. Remember when he was a boxer, he fought Sylvester Stallone?
That's the boxing movie you're thinking about, Robert De Niro in?
What were you thinking of?
Raging Bull?
Raging Bull?
I was thinking of many other movies besides that.
Not you weren't thinking about Dirty Grandpa?
Actually was.
Of course, he's a great actor. Why wouldn't I have the Goosies? Who doesn't like a good Robert De Niro flick? I'm honestly surprised he's acting as much as he is in this day and age.
Got to pay that tuition for those kids, he said.
He does have a lot of kids. Didn't he just have another kid?
Yeah, he just had
Or is that
one.
Pacino? Or is that both?
Now, Pacino's having
I
that
think
other
it's
kid.
both.
Well, Pacino,
They're dirty grandpas and apparently just dirty paws.
Pacino said he didn't know he could have kids, so he made the woman have a paternity test. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Getting after it,
That
you know.
can you imagine asking your girl that?
Weren't
Hey,
they
I'ma
also
need you-
recently just dating or something?
And the reason why you tell your girl to take a test is like, I'm too old. I can't have
Too
that.
old. You must have ran around.
No,
Somebody.
right. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing that says I think you cheated on me. Then let's go get this paternity test.
Shmita Jamal says The Grudge was a horror movie, you idiot. Was it Grudge Match? What was the movie that he fought Sylvester Stallone? Forgot that one. How could I forget? Do you have the Goosies from Robert De Niro turning 80, Leroy?
Uh-oh, he's muted.
You muted yourself.
Every movie that he's been in is 4 hours long. I like enough.
No Goosies?
No Goosies.
No
Tremendous
Goosies.
actor. Love some of his movies, but damn, they're always long. Anybody ever seen what was that? Casino?
Yeah.
How long was that movie?
Doesn't matter. It was awesome.
I'm gonna tell you
Was
right
awesome.
now.
Yeah, it was
is whoa.
Thank you.
It's 2 hours and 58 minutes.
Thank
Okay.
you. He always makes long movies.
Man, Grudge Match was
The
2013.
Godfather is 2 hours and 55 minutes.
Yeah.
How was Grudge Match 10 years old?
You're
Age
still
as
out here
well.
with the crutch.
So are you saying he got in the ring when he was 70?
Yep.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I wish one of those old guys would try to come get some.
I thought you would have loved Meet the Parents. You've been referencing.
I did, yeah. That's one of my favorites.
J-Fig, you got the Goosies from
Parents.
De Niro?
You know what? I mean, he's got into this age and he's done a lot for his career and himself. And you know what? For that, I do have the Goosies.
Yeah. It's a good run.
Good run.
It's a good run. Dan Day, Goosies for De Niro?
I love long, drawn-out movies. I love good acting, and I love an 80-year-old or a 70-year-old at least that can step in the ring and throw some punches. So, absolutely.
Goosies.
What's our final topic today at J-Fig on Goosies, no Goosies?
Canelo not ruling out a fight with Jake Paul.
I mean, that would be a good chance for Jake Paul to get his ass kicked.
Hey.
That being said, he's Canelo. Like, he's one of the best pound for pound.
Doesn't he have to do a rematch with? Is he doing a rematch with
Beevil?
Huh?
With Beevil?
Beevil.
Oh, who are you going to say?
You're talking about Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah, Jake Paul fighting Nate Diaz again? Yeah, I mean,
No,
maybe.
not Nate Diaz, but didn't he fight Fury?
He lost to Tommy Fury, yeah.
Don't he have to do a rematch there and avenge?
I
his
don't think
loss?
there's any plans for that right now. I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think
no.
Fury's fighting KSI.
He's throwing down $10 million of his own dollars to fight Nate Diaz in MMA.
You know who? You know what I just started watching yesterday? They just came out with At Home with the Furies, a reality show surrounding Tyson Fury, his family, and then they also follow Tommy Fury and Molly May,
Oh,
and
really?
then John Fury, who of course lives in a caravan like a gypsy.
A nice one though.
Oh, it's a really nice caravan.
So
yeah.
you know some of some of those things cost like $1 million plus.
Yep.
I got a buddy who sold his 6,000 square foot house, and now he lives in an RV.
That's a new
But
cool thing to do.
His RV was like $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't mind that.
no, I would.
Lifestyle, baby.
I need room.
King.
I tell you what, I hit this Powerball. Me and the missus gonna go on the road, and I'm gonna do all my broadcasting from the RV.
I'll tell you one thing that's funny about this. I watched episode 1 yesterday with Tyson Fury, and it goes back a year where he's retired, quote unquote, and it's hilarious where he's just like so tired of being retired because he has 6 kids, and so he has to do things around the house. He goes, "I don't boys want to be fun people. He's tired. These kids never leave me alone."
He's got 6 kids.
6 kids. And you know, like half of them are going to be like 6'8", you know?
All right. Like, what do you think those dinners are like?
I don't know, dude. But
A lot of food.
But he apparently like he got the reason I guess he just came back for fighting this last time around was just because he was sick of being around his kids. Too loud. He wanted the sanctity of a training camp.
Jeez.
Rather run 6 miles than have 6 kids.
He ain't running.
Oh, he runs, dude.
Really?
He trudges. He's a trudger, but he runs. Apparently, he says it's a big. Remember, he had a lot of. Remember that big. He deals with a lot of mental issues. Like he says if he doesn't exercise, it's awful. Has to. And then John Fury, the gypsy, I guess former king,
Prince.
he was explaining that he also has it, and if that exercise, if they don't exercise, that it takes over for them. Something.
All right.
Anyway, good show. Recommend it. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix?
Yep.
When did it come out?
I think it came out yesterday. I just started watching it.
Yeah, Netflix re-upped everything yesterday. I saw they had the Johnny Depp Amber Heard documentary on there
I
too.
did see
Yeah,
that.
I feel like the
Kinda
only
weak.
reason I'm going to watch that is to cover whether or not she pooped in his bed.
It's kind of
True.
weak. Yeah, there's a
But
lot
I
of
thought it was
social
on-
media
I thought it was
comment.
on Max.
I watched it yesterday straight up on Netflix.
Then she didn't do Aquaman 2, did she?
No. I
So
don't
there
think
was rumors that she was no longer in the movie, but then not so long ago I saw that she was back in the movie. I don't know what's going on.
Listen, I wouldn't want to be in that movie either. Embarrassing superhero. Jason Momoa.
Come on, man. You don't like Aquaman?
You don't like Aquaman.
You know I don't like Aquaman. The worst superhero of them all.
Hey, dude, there was nothing funnier than me going, you know who that looks like? But young.
Oh man.
They CGI'd the crap out of her.
Where were we at?
Canelo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No Goosies. No Goosies. You're it's beneath you,
No
Canelo.
Goosies.
Yeah,
It's
like
beneath Canelo.
he's not there yet, right? There's a whole lot of people knocking on that door to fight Canelo. I only wish Canelo would have had one fight that I would like to have seen, but Floyd wouldn't have it. I
Nope.
wanted to see him fight Floyd again.
That's right.
No Goosies.
And he also turned down. He said he won't fight Terrence Crawford because nobody will give him credit if he beats him.
Because he's bigger.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I mean, look at what Jamel Charles doing. He's going up 2 weight class to fight Canelo. So what's
Exactly.
the difference? What's the
Exa-
difference?
hey, exactly, dude. Sounds
You're
like
just trying to avoid it. You seen what he did to Errol Spence, and you trying to avoid him.
it sounds like to me. Leroy's calling Canelo a duck. You're out here ducking Canelo. Quack, quack.
Wait, I mean, he said he's not fighting Terrence Crawford because why?
Because he says nobody will give him credit.
Okay, maybe
He's too small.
Because but why fight Jamel Charlo? Because isn't he going up 2 weight classes?
Seems like you got him boxed in, Leroy.
Just thinking. Just like I thought about the tennis shoes.
You got the Goosies, J-Fig?
I
mean,
do
you want
and
to
I
see
don't,
you
because
want to see Jake Paul lose.
I've seen so much of Jake Paul that I kind of just want to see his butt get whipped. So
That's how he's making this money.
So you
He's
do
making this money based on one concept. Everybody wants to see him lose.
Look for Floyd Mayweather.
He ain't, dude. -1 for even putting them in the same sentence.
That's why Floyd Mayweather was so popular. Like that's why Floyd Mayweather did such great business. Everybody
Yeah, but
wants
Floyd
to see him lose.
Mayweather was really good.
Of course. Dan,
Whoa,
Goosies?
whoa. Speak too soon. Everyone wants to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped. I might be in the minority here. I like Jake Paul. I like what he does for the sport. I'd like to see him and Canelo Alvarez in middle of the ring, toe-to-toe, Tecate all over the place. Jake Paul getting all types of weird tattoos, acting crazy, and maybe, just maybe, gets a lucky shot in and knocks Canelo out. So I'm all in on this fight.
Dan's so on there. Like the only place I ever see Tecate beer is when it's at a boxing match.
Oh
And
yeah.
Canelo,
I've never seen anybody.
By the way, I don't drink beer much, right?
what I do.
It's really good.
Tecate's good.
It's really good.
But isn't Canelo Alvarez, he's a spokesperson for Tecate?
He probably was at one point. I don't know if he still is, but you might be right.
I'd like to see Jake Paul in the ring going up against not a, kind of washed up fighter. I'd like to see him go up against someone for real and kind of measure up. I like Jake Paul.
All right, there you go. That is Goosies, no Goosies. We're back with more for this. WQAM. Leroy, get a weather update before we get out of here. People
Sure
getting
can.
from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Let's check them out. Let's check them out. It is mostly cloudy. There's like an overcast over us. The wind's blowing about, I'd say 5 to 10 miles an hour. Coming out of the, let me look at these clouds. Looks like it's coming out of the west, southwest, west, and the temperatures are right around 90.
Did the wind pick up after J-Fig sneeze? One more training camp report here brought to us by our friends over at Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges. Enroll today in one of over 60 Miami-Dade County Public Schools Technical Colleges affordable training programs and get fast-tracked to a financially rewarding career in 1 to 2 years. Convenient day and evening classes give you the flexibility you need while you learn. Go to careerinayear.com and get there. Dolphins had their joint practice today with the Texans. The big news out of it was Terron Armstead, who did go down with an injury. Freaked us out there for a little bit, except Leroy, who apparently cracked the case being on him having shoes. And the guy's like, he's like injury sleuth. Terron Armstead then would tweet out himself walking after it was said he couldn't put weight on his leg. Tyreek Hill said that he said that I'm straight, I'm just old. And he apparently texted reporters that he's okay. He's getting an MRI tomorrow, or getting an MRI. We'll know more tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll probably know more after the game because the media doesn't talk tomorrow. There's no Dolphins activities. They get ready for preseason action. Preseason game number 2, 4:00 is your kickoff from Houston.
Woo! Goodness. Could you imagine kicking off here at 4:00? Oh my goodness.
Houston's not much better, but they're indoors.
They're indoors, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why. Well, it is interesting. It's the one thing the Dolphins there's so much belly aching about the sun last year with the Dolphins. Remember Belichick had a training camp at was it Palm Beach Atlantic, which was of all the places to pick. He had a training camp at Palm Beach Atlantic. They came down here and practiced all week to get used to the heat. Didn't work. And then the Bills, I mean, they still haven't stopped talking about that. But this year they only have one damn game in September. One game.
Which means you're going to be on the road a lot, and you're going to have to get off to a good start. And if you get off to a good start and then having all those home games to finish the season, you're in a good spot.
You'll be sitting pretty in December.
But if you get off to a sluggish start and then you are forced to win those games, now we're having a different conversation.
I'm still not certain at the rate we're at of December, it's still not going to be feeling like we're on the sun. I don't even recall what brisk feels like. I don't remember.
It's weird because when we golf, if it's just an overcast, it feels like the temperature drops 20 degrees.
It does. It's like
it's unbelievable how cool it feels because it's so hot when the sun's out.
The other day when a storm just kind of came out of nowhere and it was raining, I was just like, it was a relief. It was
but then when it stops raining and the sun comes out, it's a sauna.
Oh,
I really don't know what we're talking about because when it's raining and I've been outside, it's hot.
There's a certain smell that it can have too when it hits.
I hate the smell.
Like when you get a real heat rain, it could be quite pungent.
That's all in New Orleans. You know why? Below sea level. There's nowhere for the water to go. So it rains a lot. It just sits.
Yeah.
Whew. Whew. Rain smells.
Rain smells, dude. It has something to it. Although I do find it very settling. I love a rain sound when I sleep. Little background noise.
Sleep?
Oh, I love a rain. I love the backgrounds on the TV. Fake fireplace. My favorite is the fake bonfire on the beach. So you get the waves and the crackle. And the
Who uses that?
One of those little machines.
I do. No, it's not a machine. I do it on my TV. Because I like a TV glow too, J-Fig.
So let me ask you a question. Can you sleep with the TV on?
Not sound. I don't like a show on, but I like the light of the TV, and I like the fire crackle.
I can't sleep.
I like the darkness.
I can't sleep with, like, my pool automatically turns off and on the lights, right? But when the time changes, it's on for an hour later. And so I can't sleep unless I turn it off. If my wife watches TV,
You're a real bastard, Schmeathan.
Why did I picture that?
Schmeathan Schmolnick puts on Twitch. You know Tobin's hungry ass tries to roast marshmallows on his TV fire. I mean, it feels like on a beach a s'more would be more delicious, though, yeah?
I don't like s'mores.
Whatever. This guy.
I don't like marshmallows,
You
dude.
don't like sweets.
Please
You're not
stop.
a sweets guy.
No, I like sweets.
No, you don't.
I
No,
like
you don't.
brownies and
No, you-
chocolate, peanut
always
butter
the brownies you
cups.
You're a cat. You're a caveat cowboy. when it
Here's
comes
the
to this
deal.
stuff.
You know what the worst candy in the world is? There's two candies I will fight anybody that brings them over to my house.
Peeps and candy corn.
Yes. And guess what that is? That's just a white peep. Marshmallow. It's just a white peep.
No, dude, it's not a white
It's
peep.
not
No,
true.
don't say
Yes,
that.
it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
I won't accept that. But
It's marshmallow.
I don't have. But hold on. I will never have a peep just by like you'll have a peep. A peep is usually meant to have alone, but I never would have just a marshmallow. The marshmallow's got to be mixed with chocolate.
Or do you put marshmallows in hot cocoa?
Every once in a while,
I
I'm feeling
do.
froggy.
Uh,
I
Little whipped
do.
cream.
but like usually if I get marshmallows in it, they melt and it becomes like sweetener.
I see you making fun of anybody drinking cocoa. I don't see you as a cocoa drinker.
Yes, I do. Yes,
You love
I do.
cocoa?
No, I don't drink cocoa.
Oh, you make fun of cocoa drinkers.
Yeah.
Like
what
if
are we
I were to
doing?
say,
It could be the slightest of cold outside.
like I could see me bringing
Instantly.
in one day if we ever had a day where it was like 50 and I brought in some cocoa and I said, Leroy, would you like some cocoa? You would stare death at me.
Yeah. I would ask you for your man card.
That would be
Cocoa,
lit.
dude. That's why you can't grow no hair. Too much cocoa.
Nick T says, Tobin is your white peep, Leroy. All right, dude. Enough abuse. You guys.
I'm still not over Schmeathan's comment from yesterday or
What?
the day before yesterday.
Who knows? I mean, he's the guy's a machine gun of hate.
What did he call you again?
Does it really need to be reflected upon?
Yes.
Does it?
It was so
Does it really need to be reflected upon,
good.
JFig?
It was not a ham. No, not him. Man, you know what it is.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I
do.
don't.
Hey,
Him.
Yes,
can
you
I ask
do.
you? Let me ask
And I
you guys a
think we're
question.
talking about it too.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Is it too damn early for Halloween candy?
No.
No.
They
I mean,
already got the stuff up in Publix.
I think it should wait till
Good.
September.
I mean, we're basically still in July. Nobody
Well,
think
no.
about
In the middle
We're
of
in
August.
August.
We're
August.
closer to
I'm
September
sorry,
than we are
August.
July.
August, September, end of October.
Yeah,
You're more than 2 months away. They're already going with the Halloween candy.
I think that's too early. But
Yeah,
they
on
do
second
that all
thought,
the
that
time.
is too early.
It
That's
is a little too early.
It
but
is never too
they-
early.
They got a whole no.
be
Here's
bringing
J
in
Fig.
Halloween.
Let me explain something to you. For Easter, they take the same peanut butter cups, do them in the shape of an egg, and then charge you an extra $2 for the bag of candy. So
And you
I
buy 'em.
just go get the regular candy. Like, who cares? I don't
That
need
is-
I don't need my Reese's shaped like an egg to enjoy a Reese's.
That's a show.
But you
for the-
love the eggs.
I do.
You
So
I
do.
then
do.
what's the point?
like a-
No,
you're like-
I love the eggs, but here's when I buy the Easter eggs. See, you're tripping right now, right?
I'm not tripping. I know
You're
exactly
tripping right now. Let me tell you why.
you do it
Because
right.
I
after.
buy the Easter eggs the day after Easter when they go on sale, and then I throw them in my freezer and I enjoy as I go. But I'm not getting upcharged for a peanut butter cup in the shape of an egg just to celebrate Easter, or in the shape of some kind of pumpkin, so they could charge me an extra $2.
I like
No.
the ones that have chips inside. Those are new.
What kind of
Fire.
chips?
Like, it's not Lay's. It's the other one that the Ruffles. It's like a ruffle inside.
Inside the get
Yes,
the hell out
yeah.
of here.
It's really
Hawk
good.
Hawk wouldn't do that.
No.
Hawk, would you eat a Reese's peanut butter cup filled with chips?
Yeah, why not?
Thanks.
It's sweet and salty. Love it.
Wow, just a drive-by.
Just
I'm
a
gonna grab
drive-by.
it.
It's just a
Coming up
drive-by.
next,